this current section. So, we actually do have a $5 donation. And the comment reads, let's get the blind date quest incentive met. And that is also going to go for Fable 2. About 2 hours into the run, there's going to be a blind date incentive quest. And well, if you would like to see that, I highly recommend you bring your donations. Donations are highly appreciated.
We're ready. Okay.
Yo. You guys can hear us. That looks like a video game. This
Definitely looks like a video game here.
Cool. Fable 2. Before we start, as mentioned, there's a bunch of incentives for this run. The one that I need to know right at the start is the character gender, so if we haven't already closed that, let's close that. But all the other ones, if you want to change the dog's name to anything, whatever that happens to be, you've got about 15 minutes after I start this run to get that in. If you want to make sure that we do the blind date, you have like, it's actually over 2 hours, so plenty of time. And then the ending choice is literally not until the very end, so you can donate through the entire run, depending on what you want to see me do, and we'll talk about what the endings actually are.
Cozy here.
It's a sick game, and it will be very relaxing and enjoyable. I do want to, before we start, shout out the other runner of this game, because there's basically only 2 runners who've ever really taken this game seriously. One's me, the other is Darklight Boko. He's the world record holder, and he did a massive, massive amount of work on this game. A lot of the stuff I'll be doing in this run comes from his efforts. And a lot of it comes from my own efforts as well, and that's kind of it. There are a couple people that have looked at this game in the past, Ilsaroth, and a couple other people I can't even think of who like posted on the SDA forums years and years ago. But by and large, this was kind of like, I love this game a lot, so I speedran it. Hopefully, you'll be able to see that you don't have to run like a super popular game or anything. You can run a game that is like not, and it's still really fun to do.
Definitely.
All right. Which gender? Is it female?
Alrighty, let me check this real quick. So, which gender do we get for Fable 2? That is going to be, with $31 in the lead, is female.
All right.
All right, cool. So, this makes literally no difference in the run. It is totally identical.
Tested this earlier. It means nothing.
I actually, until like yesterday, I'd never played as the female character in this game at all, ever. But yeah, it's totally identical. Everything's the same. So we'll go ahead and get started momentarily. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Alrighty, so I'm PX.
I'm Vulajin. 2. This is a kind of choose your own path style RPG by this dude named Peter Nolinu, who has made a bunch of games of kind of in a similar vein. This one is my personal favorite. I think it's the best one in aspects to it, but mostly the overall point is you start as this kid, Little Sparrow, and we're going to kind of go through her life and the stuff that affects her and the grand, adventure. But at the same time, we're going to kind of pick the direction we want to take our character, be it good or evil. And you'll see that there's a speed run, so we're going to kind of
whatever happens to be faster for Little Sparrow. This is going to be something.
So, settle on in. There's a lot of this kind of thing in this game where we just have to wait for some dialogue to happen. By the way, that's one of the tiny handful of differences. Instead of saying "come with me, little brother," Rose says "come with me, sis."
Clearly, they must say like half a second because it's less work.
So yeah, we did some movement there. That was very exciting. And now we're in another cutscene.
Yeah, movement in this game is hold A to run, except Vulajin is using a very different Xbox One controller.
Right, so I have the Elite controller, and I have this little paddle on the back that I've mapped to A, which it's a first-party Microsoft product, and it's actually kind of awesome. This is not an endorsement. It's not like a sales pitch. It's just a really nice controller. So this guy's Murgo. Boy, is he. He is going to sell us some magical stuff. This dude in the audience bought an awesome magical mirror, but the important thing is it only works if you look at it in complete darkness. Naturally, you know, all the magical objects will caliber to that mirror. So we're getting some story here. This is a device created by the ancients. Who are the ancients? We don't really know.
Who knows?
What's the old kingdom?
I don't know. Something about something.
It was probably a kingdom. It's probably old.
I don't think it exists anymore if it's an old kingdom now.
That's probably true. So that's not really specified, and that's kind of, you know, there's not a need for that deep level of detail in the story. The point is more about your character in your life, and it's the fact that all this other stuff exists is kind of ancillary, right? Like in your life, all this other stuff that's happened historically is kind of just, it happens to you, and it just is there. So I think that's a pretty cool, like, little point. They don't try to dump a crapload of exposition on you. Murgo doesn't tell you the story of the old kingdom. But we will find some things out over time.
Yeah, the story you can find on your own through reading books or not.
Oh, no, my friend. We're doing story percent today. I'm going to tell the whole story of Fable 2 because we need something to do during all these cutscenes.
So, remember, for 5 gold coins, you can eat for an entire week.
Yeah. But instead, Teresa, who is the absolute champion of bad advice, suggests don't eat for a week. Go buy a magical object of questionable, you know, usefulness.
What is there
to
to lose? 5 gold coins.
No, there's nothing to lose. So now this is the childhood section of the game, and we're going to do some really basic quests here to kind of get in the hang of playing the game. The first one is Derek is going to ask us to find my arrest warrants.
5 of them.
There we go. All right, so we have to be a little careful about when and how we skip dialogues in this game. There's a skip conversation option that will pop up eventually. There it is. But if the actual dialogue that you're intending to skip with that confirmation, yeah, that just happens sometimes. Started yet? Sometimes the confirmation will pop up early. If you use the skip conversation option, it won't actually skip the thing, so you'll just lose a whole crap load of time for no. You're posing for a picture. Oh yeah, what a lovely pose. We'll be positively betwazzled by the results.
More popular than the box.
Beautiful. That was terrible moving. So I actually can move. Oh, that was not too bad.
Oh.
I can move all the black out there, but you're trying to get into like a little tiny alley. And the other thing that makes that hard is that controlling the character in this game. Well, okay, so my parents own a minivan, right? And I think the minivan is more maneuverable than this character here.
He just headbutted a girl.
Yeah, and now I'm gonna hit another one.
Oh, that's a different line. So now you're fighting with wooden swords because you're orphans in the street.
Yeah, that was actually pretty quick. I wonder if the female character's melee animation is faster.
That was weird. It was like no combo at all. You just hit him.
I feel like there's no way. Anyway, whatever. I might be learning new speed strats as we're playing, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
That one kid really hated you beating up on him.
All right, so that little jerk was beating up on this adorable puppy. Look how cute he is.
Reminder that you can name the puppy.
The puppy is, of course, the main character of this game, so that is why you can name the puppy, but you can't name Little Sparrow.
Arrest. Warrant for sneakiness, whatever that means.
Burglary. Well, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So now we kind of have to just wait for Rose to catch up. She's talking to the dog, but it's not really skippable. So we're just going to come over here to this NPC who eventually will give us a quest, but Rose has to get here first. There's a number of things like this in this game where you have to, in the speedrun, where you have to arrange to hit a certain trigger in a certain way. And in this case, we're just going to be waiting for Rose to show up any second now. Come on.
Yeah, so in the childhood section, all these ones you're given a good choice and an evil choice. So there he did the good choice, so you saw the little plus angel thing above his head there.
Yep. And that's important. I will be doing all the good choices in this childhood segment because I actually specifically want to accomplish the goal of, like, restoring Bowerstone Old Town, which is this area. And if I do all the good choices, then when I grow up, which is going to happen pretty soon, the town will be restored, and all the merchants in Old Town will sell at a 50% discount, and they will also buy back at a 50% cut, which is bad, obviously, but the discount is what I want. Also,
Yeah.
Arthur, yeah, don't worry about him. He's worthless.
Yeah, there's a really interesting market system in the game, and that each town has their own like value of
Oh,
items.
Rose, get out of the... So that's going to happen a fair bit. NPCs are not very cooperative. And yeah, as PX was saying, there's a really complicated system of like market confidence and stability and volatility, and it's pretty crazy actually. But the big ones for us, there's going to be a couple places where we really don't want there to be sales, or really do want there to be sales, and I'll call those out when we get there.
Yeah.
Here we're recovering this wine for this lady.
Yeah, there's even a point where you could buy like baskets of luggage of stuff and just carry it from one.
Yeah, you can totally do like arbitrage in this game. It's actually pretty cool. There is a ton to this game that you will just not see in this speedrun.
Yeah.
Because why would I, for example, go, become a real estate mogul when I could just beat the game, right?
What was that fourth warrant for? It started with a G.
Yes.
Okay.
I see massive hitboxes, so I just always go around to the left there because there's a high likelihood that you're not going to be able to get through them.
Also, the game will arbitrarily slow you down for reasons a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look how... Oh, nice and slow. Do you... No? Okay, you don't want to speed up. Great. All right, so we got all of Derek's warrants, so we're up to 4 gold pieces so far. Each of these tasks has given us 1. And now we need...
Now we meet the final boss, this doorway.
We need Deirdre to make her way out the door. Is she going to do it? Is she going to do it?
Oh,
she did
she
it!
got out.
Yes! Dude, that
Right.
almost 5 or 10 seconds. That's not too bad.
Uh,
So the story of this little quest here is Monty here is really into Belinda up on the balcony, but Deirdre, the mother, is... So Monty's going to give us a little note that we are going to hand over to Belinda. And the evil choice here is that you can hand it to Deirdre instead. But we're not going to do that because, again, we want all the good choices. Also...
Now we wait for her to get downstairs to this door.
Yeah, remember how slow she was to get outside onto the balcony? Well,
I mean, you can always knock again in case she didn't
Nope.
hear you.
Nope. I'm not 100% sure. I think knocking again is just slower, and it doesn't speed anything up.
That's pretty quick, actually.
I mean, there's not much variance on that. Oh, don't kneel down. Okay, great, cool. So if she kneels down, it interrupts the confirmation there. There's our last gold piece, so we'll finally be able to purchase the music box
But
instead of food.
food for a week.
Nope.
I mean, you do have a gun. I don't know why you don't have
A
food.
pop gun. It's a pop gun, dude.
It's still a gun that shoots.
Oh, man.
You can kill beetles.
Kill the Beatles. All right. So the music box, which I'm sure is definitely magic. And now we're going to come play it. And
I wish.
Rose makes a wish. And surprise, it actually is magic.
Really? I don't know. It's just like, it's doing something.
Yeah.
It's broken.
I've never seen a magic box that just like spun on its own, although I'm sure something like that exists. All right, so there it
Aw.
goes.
But
Good,
where did
good
it
job.
go?
It's a good thing we spent 5 gold pieces on that to make a wish that has clearly not been granted.
You worked so hard for that.
Oh, there's the dog. By the way, as mentioned, the dog is the main character of this game. You have around 4 more minutes or something to name him. So if you do want to alter the current winning name, which is the dog, which is a great name.
There's a 16-character limit. Why don't you just add last part to it? Come on, people.
All right. So we can sleep as soon as that, as soon as Rose starts talking to the dog.
All right, fine. Welcome to
All right.
And as you can see, there's a little bit of overlap in those dialogues because we went to sleep a little bit earlier than expected. Normally, Rose actually blocks you from getting into this this area while she's talking to the dog.
I work for Lord Lucian, miss.
All right, so this guy
and he
works
would
for
very
Lord
much like
Lucian.
to see
Miss.
you in his castle.
Lord Lucian is
I've been
a
sent
fairly
to
important Castle Fairfax, and meet him shortly because he
She
has
just-
asked to see us.
she just
yeah, she
kicked
just
you.
kicked me. Yeah, she does that
Did what?
sometimes.
Our wish came true.
Oh man.
You're
Come
just
on,
trying to
Rosfire,
sleep.
wake up.
So Rose wished to be to live in a
all right,
castle
We're
like
going
that
to
one,
Lord
Castle
Lucian's
Fairfax.
castle.
So Lord Lucian has summoned us.
I'll come
Clearly, the
back
wish
for
came
you.
true. Am I right?
Promise.
Yeah. I mean, what else did that music box do?
And that it would have any other purpose. So there's another slight little annoyance. I couldn't start confirmation thing until full stop. And there's not really a great way to come to a full stop. Like if I try to pull back on the analog stick or something, the girl would have like taken another step
Evening, Jeeves.
and would have technically still
Here
been
are the children
moving.
Lord Lucian asked for.
Evening,
Excellent.
Jeeves.
Excellent.
This game, and you're gonna hear me imitate the accents a lot, and it's not
If you
trying to be
follow
like
me,
mean or
please.
anything. This game is made by Lionhead Studios. Lionhead was a British company, and like all the accents in this game are, as far as I know, done by actual British voice actors. They are definitely a little bit over the top, but it's not like it's not like some Americans like cheesy idea of a British accent or anything like that.
Hey, it's Garth. He'll become important sometime.
Yes, he
Now,
will.
few words.
But no.
Where is the grand dining hall?
Meanwhile, we're having
Oh, the
some
North Wing.
conversation.
Lord Lucian hasn't been in there
Jeeves
since-
is telling us about,
since
you
the
know, Lord
tragic deaths
Lucian
of Lady
lost
Fairfax
his
and
Lady Fairfax and little Amelia
Oh,
a
I
while
heard.
ago, and he's
So
been
awful.
very, very
Yes,
sad
he,
and
misses them terribly.
having a tough.
Yeah.
Now he takes his
Actually,
meals
he
and
takes
mostly
most of
spends
his
his time
meals
in
in
his
his
study
study.
up here, which is where we're gonna go meet
He's
him.
in there working all hours
And he's
doing research.
researching the very interested in.
And history mostly. Lord Lucian is quite keen
And of course
on
his butler would be
antiquities of
named
all sorts,
Jeeves.
but he's chiefly interested in things related
Yeah, that's
to
not
the
the
Old
only
Kingdom.
like meme
There was
kind
a
of
trader
name
in Old Town who
for
said his
a
stuff was
character in
from
this
the Old
game.
Kingdom.
Apparently,
Yes,
Farmer Giles
yes.
is
I
quite
believe
a
Lord
an English
Lucian
meme.
heard
I'm
about
told
that.
by Bob the Ninja Goldfish.
We
So
bought a piece of it.
that one's
And
pretty
we made
good.
a wish, and now we're here.
Anyway,
We do have plenty
Well,
of
that's
British people in
wonderful.
here in the
Now,
Marathon
when
Nick
you meet
from
Lord
these accents.
Lucian, you must show respect at
so we're about
all
to step
times.
into the. Once
My
we do,
lord,
I
speak
don't have
only
to for like another 3 minutes
Yes,
or
sir.
so.
mention Lady
We'll
Fairfax
probably be
or
able to
me.
just have some, some Yagamoth time, which is really what you've all been waiting for. But doors got to open first.
Here we are. Lord
And
Lucian, the
now we're
children
gonna run
are
in here and assume the position. So what's gonna happen here? I'll give the quick synopsis while we wait. And by the way, if you are opposed
Children,
morally
it's
to
come
violence
my
against
attention
children,
that you have some
you
sort of
might want to
magic
avert your eyes in about
I see.
2 minutes or so.
In banishment,
Yeah.
Stand here on this thing.
we made a wish. to
Oh
love
man, I'm really
it
surprised you were able to
disappeared.
use that magic box,
After you
music
used
box, magic music box.
Yes, my
Uses
lord.
magic box.
The
I don't know,
man who
whatever.
sold it to us said it was
So
magic.
I want to see if you guys
box is of
are
interest to me.
special,
What's
if you're
remarkable
heroes.
Is that
So
you
please
are
go
able
step
to
on the
use
circle. So both of us are going to step on the
Puzzle.
circle, and some magical field will appear, and he will find out that we are heroes,
Well, speak.
but we're not any of
What
the
did you wish
three, which we'll find out what that means later. And then he's going to decide that he has to
Like
kill us,
this
so
one.
he's going to assassinate us as well.
Perhaps that could be arranged.
So, spoilers.
They're just gonna watch this
I'm
in a
working
minute.
to rebuild.
Yep. So enjoy that.
I'm working on
Yagamoth, take it
something
away.
wonderful, for which I need individuals.
All right, thank you very much, Vulajin. We do have a donation
us
by
find out who
NGO
possessed it.
Richard. And it reads,
kindly
Hi Vula, sorry I
stand
couldn't donate more during your run. I put too much towards Final Fantasy VII. Good luck and have fun with the run. All you RPG Limit Break crew have done fantastic so far. Well job. Put this $5 towards naming the dog Kura, because your roommate's pets deserves all the praise.
Nothing to
And
worry
at this point I would like to point out, even if you feel like it's just a little bit of money, it's not too much, every donation is really appreciated. So thank you very much for that. And we also have $25 by Emmy
about.
Pup.
Heroes.
Blind date? Blind date.
Heroes? You mean like in the
Blind
old
date.
stories?
Yes. The blind date donation is going to be coming up, I think, about 2 hours into the run.
A bit more than that, but if it's not getting met already, then I'll like push it.
How close are we to that, anyways?
How close are we to that? Let me just check this out. Let me refresh this real quick, and I will be able to tell you in just a little moment.
You're heroes, but you're not any of the three. One of you is the fourth.
We are actually very, very close, and maybe after the refresh, closer. Alrighty. Here, do the blind quest date for Fable 2 is actually already at 500. So just a little more, and we will be able to see the blind quest. Blind quest, blind date.
Oh yeah, we do have a bid war for the ending. We should probably describe that for people who have never played the game before.
We'll get to that. There's a lot of time. All right, so there's gonna be a cutscene here for us getting shot, but I'm gonna skip it by pressing start.
So clearly we just blacked out and nothing happened.
Indeed. Also, now is a good time to cut off the dog, so go ahead and do that. There's one more cutscene here. Quickly enough. All right, so here, hey, it's a dog. We're gonna do a very important bit of tech
There
here.
you are.
I'm gonna go into first-person
And your
mode.
faithful friend.
Adorable puppy.
Many years
Oh,
ago,
look,
I
he's
promised I
licking
would
his
help you
muzzle.
avenge your
Oh.
sister's death.
I love this
That day
dog.
has come.
This dog is so well animated.
Today,
Whoever
you leave this
made this
seek out
dog,
Lucian.
you are
journey
absolutely
will not be
amazing.
easy.
And this thing, it has so much personality.
There's a chest
For a game
near
that
your
came out in like
caravan.
2000.
Things
It's
inside that
amazing.
might prove useful.
Definitely a lot of effort put
Meet me by
towards
the
the dog
gates when you're ready to leave.
to the dog.
So I actually did do that. It allowed me to be facing in the direction that I wanted to go before I started moving, so that I didn't have that animation.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to pick up a couple items out of this chest here.
Now kick the chicken.
Yeah, that chicken's probably going to get kicked on the way.
I think he moved all the way.
So and here's the collar of holding. So the collar is going to allow us to name the dog, and that's what we're going to do right now.
Alrighty, for the dog, we have, well, the dog. All capitalized letters.
Of course.
Of course.
I wonder
Perfect.
where that comes from.
So that comes from a lovely game that I also speed Island. So there's our dog, the dog. We'll be making very good use of the dog throughout this run, by which I mean we'll probably not be doing it, but he will be our faithful companion right to the very
Now
end.
come with me.
And that was for a whole... for that.
Indeed. So now we're actually doing a little bit of a skip. Teresa there wants to give us the seal to the guild cave. Gonna slow us down to a crawl to do it. This is killing me. This is probably not gonna work
Take
because
this.
of that.
Oh, she body blocked so hard.
Oh yeah, that was brutal.
Kind of
That
which
was
all
absolutely
heroes
awful.
want
So I'm
to
not
do.
getting the skip.
It will grant you
I'm
access to places
the intent of the
others
skip is
cannot
that I
go.
run
Allow me to talk to
massive,
you when necessary.
and then I don't have to walk with her all the way across this
Now,
bridge.
look down
I can still
towards
get
the
a
lake.
minor bit of advantage
seal
by
will
trying
allow
to
you
stay
to
in
enter
front of
the
her, but
tomb.
look how,
In its darkest
She's
depths,
trying so
strong.
hard to
Chamber
body
of
block
fate.
you.
dude, her technique is so
When you come
strong.
out
I
again,
beat
much
her.
stronger.
You play more here. No.
All right. Okay, so we made it out really slowly. It would have been a lot faster if I'd gotten that skip, but it's only like 15 or 20 seconds or something.
Wonderful camera there.
I'm sure Boko is shaking his head right now. I tried Boko. He came up with the setup to actually pull that skip off. I'd gotten it accidentally before that, but he's the one who figured out how to do it consistently. Oh, please. All right, there we go. So you have
Come
to
on,
be
little Spittle.
facing the door to open it. Oh, Lord. All right, so this is the guild cave, and this is where the Order of Heroes used to make their home. And it's also sort of the tutorial dungeon kind of thing here. Just gonna run around the dog, and
Don't be
The
alarmed.
dog.
I'm
The
speaking to you
dog.
through the guild
we're gonna
seal.
jump on down in
You will
here.
need to jump into that hole.
Sometimes I actually end up jumping over that
Don't
hole.
worry. The
Fortunately,
water at the
not this
bottom will
time.
break your fall.
Or unfortunately.
And the real enemies of the game, Beetles.
Giant beetles.
But I'm not too concerned about them. There will be a lot of this in the run, a lot of run in the run. And there will also be a lot of getting blocked by enemies like that.
Yeah, their hitbox is way bigger than it should be.
This is kind of
You'll have to shoot the switch.
The navigate. Oh, get off of
He
me.
went deep.
Wow. He wanted to prove something there. Anyway, I'm going to pick up this chest. It contains a rusty mace. And I don't need the mace to use. I need it to sell. And look at our door.
It's licking your bum.
Yeah, dogs will do that sometimes. Anyway, another little weird thing to note about dungeons in this game, which was found again by Boko, is that if you hit certain tiles or like certain like parts of the terrain, your run speed will suddenly be slowed. And we do not understand why it's like that. But
Maybe you're hitting like the in-between sections of a polygons or whatever. Who knows?
sure. But it doesn't just slow you temporarily. It's not just like it blocks you. It actually slows your max speed. So you'll see me draw my weapon periodically to undo that error. So it actually happened right there. So I pulled my weapon. You might have noticed I sped up just a little bit. And that actually adds up a lot over the course of the run. There's a lot of areas where you're really going to want to beat a flash you're going so that you can fix it with this trick. So that's a flit switch. You have to use the appropriate kind of attack on it. Is melee, which corresponds to the X button, which is usually blue on stock Xbox controllers. Yellow is ranged attacks and corresponds to the Y button. And hello? There we go. There's another little slowdown spot right around there. Alright, so that fixes it. And then spells,
Beyond
which
these
we don't
broken
have
doors
yet, but we'll get
lies the
momentarily,
Heroes Guild.
are red, which corresponds
For
to the B.
centuries, trained the most supremely gifted sons
So
and
here,
daughters
there's
of
a
Albion,
weird little
bound
animation
together
skip
by
I don't
the blood
understand,
that flowed in
where
their
you're supposed to be like powerful now, but
You can now channel the
Run
experience.
right
it just
out of
doesn't happen. I don't know why.
Strength,
Consistent.
strength improves
Yeah, I mean,
combat
like,
with
as long as you go
hand-to-hand
through that
weapons.
area quickly,
Skill
it always happens.
allows you to shoot faster.
So Teresa's
with greater accuracy.
describing the mechanics of
Will
the
gives
game.
you control over
Strength,
the
skill,
forces
and
of
will
nature.
are the three primary attributes that you have. Strength is for melee, skill is for
Before you
ranged,
is a
and
colour's
will
gate.
is for spells.
It
So
reacts to
it
the
all
will of
correlates
one
really
who
well with the
seeks
buttons
to
on the
use it.
controller and so on.
You have not
However, in
been
the
able to
context
use
of the
will.
speed run,
The
strength
simple
is
act of
HP,
reaching this place has
skill
given
is
you will
useless, and will is
experience.
damage.
Accurate.
You need to learn a will ability
Skill
to
does
activate
come in
the
handy
colour's
in
gate.
any percent run due to the fact
Now
that
use
there's
the knowledge
a
you have gained so far.
skip we can do with it.
Excellent.
So I need to
Well
learn a
done.
spell and
Now
shoot
you
that
are
thing
ready.
and move on.
Use the colour's gate.
But we won't have enough XP to take advantage of the skill ability that we could take advantage of, so I'm just not going to do that skip.
Use your
Every
newfound
single time
abilities
I
to
am
defeat
always
them.
confused about which direction I want to run here. I can't figure it out.
Make your way to
So,
Bowerstone.
Who cares about them? I wanted to go jump in the water. This is not actually the direct way I want to go, but there's a very important item here that I'm going to go pick up. Then we're going to get our first taste of real combat action in this game pretty
If
soon.
only the
after
game
this.
was underwater, because you swim so much faster than you're actually moving.
Sure. Oh, also, it's very important when you pick up an item, you have by just information there, and if you do that, it like you can instantaneously clear that dialogue. If you press A to confirm it, there's like a forced delay, but if you press X, you can confirm it instantly, even fully draw. And so in a lot of cases, I'll want to do that, but in that case, that potion of life, if I use it, basically my run is gonna like be over. At least if I were trying for like a PB. In this case, since it's a marathon, I would just lose a crap load of time. So it's really important that I don't do that. And so for the
Yeah.
most part, I won't even be trying to do that.
It's a lot of money.
We're gonna find out that the road to Bowerstone is blocked off because of, like Boko calls him, Tag the Bandit.
Apologies, citizen.
So, the road to
Speaking
Bowerstone is
of a
closed.
load of money, we
It would
actually
seem
did meet
Thag has
the
been
incentive
capturing
for the blind
traders
quest,
on their way to
so
Excellent.
that is
Excellent.
complete.
Thank you
you very
much.
much.
He is a danger to all.
You guys will
must
still,
be
of
dealt
course,
with.
have the opportunity to
With your
donate
new power,
for the
you
ending
should be
choice. And
able to
again, we
defeat
will
him
talk
and
about
his gang
those
and
a
continue
little
your
bit
quest.
as we learn more
No
about the
doubt
story of
they're
the
at his
game.
camp near Bower Lake.
Probably better
Keep
just
your
like
wits
tell
about
which
you.
one's the good
Maybe a
evil
trap.
and the neutral, just so people have an idea when we get to that.
Well, it's not really clear that one or more are particularly good or neutral, But, oh, also this is combat in this game. I'm just going to shoot fireballs at everything, and they'll die. These particular bandits take exactly 3 to die. Ow, don't attack me. Oh, hey. There's also cutscene RNG in this game, by which I mean that sometimes when you attack an enemy, at random it will decide that you can do a big slowdown effect. That's all cinematic and stuff, which is cool, but in this case it cost me time, obviously, so...
The game is getting really loud, too.
That's true. The spell effects have a a much higher volume compared to other stuff. So we could probably turn down the game volume just a little bit. You guys aren't aware, that's channels 15, 16 on the next scene.
Yeah.
Just turn it down just a little bit for us. Shouldn't be too much. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you much. Alright, so Tag the Bandit, he has enough HP that he takes 20 hits here. Oh, you're actually counting? Nice. There we go. Alright, so good fight. That was really hard. All the bandits do so little damage.
He deserved that because he kicked the dog.
He did do that. What a jerk.
Auto saves, get used to them.
Alright. So now I collect all the XP that everything dropped. The way XP works in this game is when you attack something, some XP of the same type of the thing that you used, strength, skill, or will. Oh, that
Yeah.
confirmation is so hard. Will drop, and then in addition, there will also be some general XP that you can spend on anything. But we're going to mostly be using will, so you're going to see a lot of red orbs, and you're going to see a lot of green orbs. And then in order to collect them, you have to hold the right trigger and just sit there, basically.
Yeah, so basically, the more you use something, the more experience you get at it. So it usually leads to the effect where you just focus on one thing.
All right. So now is the first really big bit of randomness in this run. We need to find out where the alchemist is.
It's probably going to spawn in the same area as the last few times.
Yeah, I haven't Oh, he's right here. What a nice
Perfect
guy.
marathon run.
It could be slightly better, like he could be inside the building already, but this is great. All right, the second one is there's no sale, so even better. So we're going to sell this potion, and we're going to get 2,500 gold. That is a lot of gold, and I'm very thankful for it. Also going to make sure I pick up the fast travel point for the town square right now. So that is really good RNG to start. Like, that alchemist can be way, way far away, and it's really dumb, and you have to wait a long time. You can't buy from him until he is in his shop, so you have to wait.
I mean, how are you supposed to give you the items if he's not inside the store to give it to you?
Look, don't bring logic into this. So anyway, I went to take a quick nap because Teresa was busy, and normally you're expected to like wander around Bowerstone and do some crap, and no, I'm not doing that. So I just take a nap and she spawns immediately.
Yeah, and unlike other RPGs, you can just sleep in the inn for free. They don't care.
Yep, anywhere there's a bed, really. And I specifically slept for 12 hours because it's going to manipulate the clock cycle of the game to be the way I want it. Like, the shops will be open when I get to the next town, Oakfield, not Oakvale. Oakvale is different. I like the air quotes from Teresa. Your enthusiasm will have its uses.
Come.
Whatever. Every once in a while, an NPC will prompt you to like do like an emote reaction, and in this case, it's like either thumbs up or thumbs down, and it does not matter which one you do.
Yeah, so generally, up on the D-pad will indicate a good emote, while down will be a bad evil one.
And it actually turns out I really don't care too much about intentionally doing either good or evil actions. I just want to do what's fastest, right? And there's not really any consistency about what is the fastest thing to do.
Look.
Also, let's see if we can
That is where
get
Lucian
the
is
hilarious
now.
thing to happen. There we go. All
The
right.
tattered spire.
I'm not going to do that for the whole time.
No, it's probably not good for your back. Quick cutscene there, which we skipped.
Look at that spire just floating in the air.
And now the spire
Alright, so now I'm
rises
just gonna
once
chill
again
over here.
by Lucian's hand.
If you get too far away, it's harder to get her to do the silly
the
thing.
coming of one who would stop him using the
Here,
spire.
let's-
That is why your
There
sister
we go.
died. And that
Oh,
is why
man.
you will face
This
it.
works with either character
The
model.
cards have shown me this.
Oh, hey, there's
Hello.
an NPC. She
Yeah.
came to talk. She's just like, hey, how's it going?
Take a look.
While Teresa's chatting with us.
Oh, she's
Beautiful.
flirting with you already.
Each of the three heroes
Alright,
you see in the
So skip conversation, then we have to wait for Teresa to finish this line, and then we can move on.
Sadly, she is not the blind date.
That's cute. Yeah, Teresa is blind as a character. If you played Fable 1, you are familiar with Teresa. If you played Fable 2 or 3, you're also familiar with Teresa, but in a completely different capacity. So we're going to head to Bowerstone area that we started in. And because we did all the good options at the beginning of the game, that was the only time where that specifically mattered. Here we're going to find that the shopkeeper is going to offer us a 50% discount. And we happen to have 2,800 gold or so. And this kind gentleman here, the weapon trader, has a bunch of weapons that we are going to buy all of.
Me and Derek wasn't done speaking with you.
Oh, well, he sucks. So that's actually kind of bad. I would have wanted to buy more weapons there.
Can't you just sell something and buy the...
Yeah, I could fix that. And I think I want to. I want to have as much gold as possible. So I'm actually going to make a second trip to that store to kind of fix up my error there. Usually I buy from the most expensive back up, but this time I thought I had enough gold.
You've had enough gold the last few times, so it's understandable.
Anyway, here's a demon door. We're going to kick a chicken into his mouth.
Hopefully.
We'll see how well we can pull this off.
That's close.
What?
What?
Okay,
Right in there, right in the mouth.
Good lord. Yeah, right in the mouth. I mean, close enough. It touched the plane. That's all that matters. Anyway, kicking the chicken into this guy's mouth. The demon door is really ravenously hungry, and he wants meat. So we kick the chicken in his mouth. He opens up, and he unveils a secret area. And in this secret area, there's a chest. And in the chest, there are 4 XP potions.
I like how the game just drops you there.
Yeah, that's going to do that. We're going to see a little more of that funkiness, too, a little bit later on. This time, I will confirm these items with the X button, so it'll immediately drop the XP, as you see there. And that is a lot of XP, so now I'm going to be able to afford a couple things. I'm going to start by getting toughness. I'm going to start by failing at menuing. Menuing in this game is not easy.
Yeah, it's really, there's a lot of delay between things you could do in the menu. So you cannot really go fast at all.
Okay. So what I did there in that menu was I learned the toughness skill, which increases my HP by a bit, which is really nice. It'll just give me more buffer to not die, which, by the way, I will die a lot in this run, but it should be fine. Death has a very low cost, and we'll talk about it in a bit. The other thing was I got the Inferno spell level 2. I already had level 1. So the nice thing about selling things is you can sell for exactly the same price that you bought an item. So I didn't actually lose any money making that mistake there. But I got Inferno level 2, which is going to kill close to everything really quickly at the beginning of the game. And I also got Time Control level 1. Time Control I'm not going to use for a little bit, so we'll talk about when we actually do. Inferno is just a ball of fire. You've seen it.
Or a ring of fire.
Oh, and right here at the beginning of Rookridge, keep your eyes open for a floating NPC.
So yeah, when you use magic, there's 2 different ways of using it.
Here we go.
Oh, there he is.
Bandits.
Gravity just reminded he existed. But when you use magic, there's 2 ways of using it. There's the AoE magic where you don't hold a direction. Then there's targeted magic where you aim it specifically at a person.
Wait, bandits.
Right, and for certain spells, those will have different effects. In the case of Inferno, it just does damage. But the targeted version is always going to deal more damage than the AoE version. The other thing is, if you actually start charging a spell as AoE, you can switch to targeting on an enemy by just holding the analog stick. But starting by holding it as an AoE spell will actually make it charge faster, which is really weird. So I'm always going to start untargeted when I'm charging a spell up, which we'll see in a little bit when I actually get into
I'm assuming
combat.
because when you're charging AoE, you're usually in trouble. What is... No, they're just drinking.
Yeah, they're just chilling. Those guys are fun. So there's a bridge over to the village of Oakfield, but it's a jump in the water because I'm pretty sure that's what most people will do.
Yeah, those bandits call you chicken and dare you to jump into the water.
So we're going to go over here, and there's a cave filled with hobs.
My son Joey's in there.
And his son Joey's in there.
Yeah.
Random quick note that I've been getting a bunch of autosaves everywhere, and we actually run this game in RTA, which means we run it according to the real time on like a clock that you take to beat the game, like counting all the load times and all that stuff, counting the autosave time, right? So actually when you run this and you want to go as fast as possible, you're actually going to intentionally set it up so that your game cannot autosave. However, this game is prone to crashing sometimes, not super often. but often enough that I really want the auto save, so I'm going to have to eat the time loss from that. These are hobs. I don't think they need much more explanation. So I'm just going to run past everything.
See ya, Joey.
No. Joey's up here, don't
Oh.
worry. Oh, God. Running forward is impossible.
Oh, that's the dad.
Yeah, that's the dude. His son Joey's in there. Oh, God.
He's bringing him on with you.
So, running in this game is impossible, and you'll see it here very clearly as I try to round this corner. Notice how much I slow down, and then how like awkwardly she turns.
Yeah, your character moves very, very loosely.
Describing it like driving a bus is probably generous. I think the bus is a little bit easier. Also, I'm not like I will complain a lot about that sort of thing, but actually I still like really like this game. Just keep that in mind.
It's more like driving a bus on ice.
Can you open
more
the
like it.
door for Daddy?
Yeah,
There.
pretty much.
That's it. That's my
Alright,
boy.
so I have to be careful where exactly I unsheath my weapon to do the speed fixing thing, because if I do it in the wrong place, for example with the crossbow, Sparrow will automatically target a nearby enemy and start trying to shoot at it, and I don't really want to waste my time with that.
Yeah, the joys of one button combat. One button does everything for you.
Whoa, get on the ladder. There we go. Alright. So that was a decently clean cave. And we're going to make it to Oakfield now. And along the way, we're going to hear some of my favorite lines in the game from these two bandits that are still guarding the bridge. So take a quick listen.
Can we go back now? No, it's our job to guard the bridge. But it's broken! No one can cross it! Well, I didn't say it was a hard job.
I love those guys.
So yeah, one of the big changes they made from Fable 1 to Fable 2 is that they simplified the combat a lot. So one button pulls out your weapon and uses the weapon at the same time. Same with magic and the crossbows, guns, ranged weapons, whatever. As opposed to having a weapon to draw, a button to draw your weapon and an attack button.
It's actually a really elegant system overall. It's kind of the game where, like, you know, it takes advantage of the stuff that's on the controller to do pretty straightforward things, and doesn't require you to do any sort of weird, like, chords with buttons or anything like that. So we've got now we're going to, because we've manipulated the day-night cycle, we're going to be able to go to the store and sell all the weapons that we got, including the extra rusty mace.
Wow, that's worth so much.
Yes, and we have over 5,000 gold. I'm also going to do a little bit of this. I'm going to show off this trophy from earlier. And that's going to get me a little bit of renown, which will not matter until a little bit from now. But I'm going to just get started in advance because you need a bunch of extra.
Oakfield is among the
Renown is basically your character's level of notoriety in the world. And obviously the more of it you have, the more people have heard of you. At certain points in the game, it is going to require a minimum amount of renown. It's just a counter. It's going to require a minimum amount of renown in order to move on with the story. So right now, the number I'm going to need in a little bit is 500, I believe. And I'm going to fall short of that. I'll do that.
Trophies like that to get a lot of renown.
The monks.
Yeah, he wants to find a nice group of people to start throwing around, because the more people there are, the more renown you get.
Right.
Father, the sacred texts
Alright,
clearly
so
say that only 2
we are
months
finally
remain.
going to accomplish some of the main
No one
objectives of
else.
this game. So, back when we were chatting with Teresa in Bowerstone, she told us the story, which is that Lucian is seeking to revive the that happens to mean. And to do so, he needs to gather the 3 heroes of legend. The hero of strength, the hero of skill, and the hero of will. Each of the 3 schools.
Well, prove yourself to me, and then we'll
So I
talk.
need to do a quick menu.
The blessing must go forward if you're to find the pilgrim.
Oh, these menus. So
You must gain
we
the
need to
abbot's
find the heroes
favor.
first, and the hero of
Perhaps you can
strength
find a
happens to
way
be
impress him in
here.
the town.
And in order
Use your
to
map to see where
get
the
access to the hero of strength, we need to achieve some
this
renown, so that the abbot will let us participate in the sacred ritual of flourishing something.
Basically, we're not enough of a known hero to access the hero. He doesn't think we're good legit.
So I'm also going to do this. I'm going to have this bard play a song trying in my practice earlier. I'm not sure exactly if this works out the way I think it does. But when you have the bard play a song, it increases your renown by a certain amount based on like each like so you'll get like 10 per thing that he sings about. He'll also drop him to kind of gather and listen. And I believe that actually persists through me doing this quest. It seems like it at least. So I'm going to have him start singing and then go back to Rookridge to do this quest, which Barnum asked me to do. Barnum, of course, was the photographer from the beginning of the game. He'll be making
That bar must be singing for a long time. People stay there while you're here.
Yeah. So Barnum is going to ask us to go clear the bandits in Rookridge who have broken the bridge, because he's gotten a deed to the bridge and he wants to be able to rebuild it. But, of course, now we'll have to go defeat the bandit Dash, who is fast. That's gonna be nice aim, perfect. That's definitely
right
who I was
into
aiming
that.
at. Oh yeah, that's clearly who I was aiming at. So Inferno level 2 is a little bit powerful.
Yeah.
And yet still didn't kill this one.
Yeah, it's been a lot of enemies just not dying for no reason.
Alright, so I'm gonna make sure that I gather all the XP here because I really am tight on XP at this early stage of the game. So there's Dash. He might have barely been able to make him out across the way on that bridge. He's fast, but close enough at this point that if I had the skill ability, I'd actually be able to home in on him with my crossbow and shoot him until he dies before he actually runs away. Unfortunately, I don't have the XP for that. It's way too much for me to spend right now, so I'm going to have to just chase him down. Being able to skip this would save about 40 seconds, but it's not worth the XP cost that I would otherwise incur.
You know, his voice is so clear, he wants to be right behind him.
Yeah, he keeps talking about how fast he is, but like, he hasn't really gotten that far ahead of me. So, for as fast as he is, he's not very healthy.
Yeah, he's dead.
So now we're going to head back to Oakfield as we've completed that quest. Clearly killing exactly 1-7-ish bandits was enough to clear the entire like bandit camp.
I mean, you take out the leader, they disperse like bugs.
Sure, let's go with that. I'm pretty sure that's true.
That's how it always works, right?
Oh, here's a hilarious glitch. Because I teleported back while the cinematic effect was going on. Alright, so now we will complete this quest by turning into Burnham. It looks like it didn't quite have the effect I thought it might have. So it's not too bad. Basically, the way you route this game, the way I route, saves are really inconvenient to make use of for speedrun purposes. Normally, I would want to have like a save for each major part of the game, but you can't really do that because you can't copy saves, and it autosaves all the time. So basically, you just have to route it by doing full playthroughs and trying things. I mean, there's, you know, you can reload your file in between autosaves, but it's still a pain. Excuse me. Alright. So we got Barnum's Thesaurus, which I'm sure will come thoroughly in handy. And more importantly, we got Dash's Goggles, which are a slightly more powerful renown farming item. Oh, actually, there's a lot of people here.
Oh,
nice.
that's a nice line. It's a Congo line going on here.
Almost famous enough. A few people are whispering of your deeds.
So I can actually do these inputs a little bit faster. I think I'm done. Cool. So you can do those inputs a little bit faster. Yep, that's enough renown. Awesome. But if you restart the trophy animation thing before the first one, like before your hand gets fully into the air, then you won't actually get the renown from it. So you have to wait just a little bit.
Now you can go back to the abbot.
Thank you, Teresa.
Yep. What a good contribution. All right, I need to go somewhat closer. There we go.
It's you. I prayed for your return.
All right, so the abbot's going to ask us to go escort the monk, which is
I think you could
turns
be
out to be the hero of strength, into the Wellspring Cave. Collect the sacred water, which is going to allow them to replant the golden oak. Something yearly ritual, I don't know,
to the
whatever
wellspring of
stuff.
light.
This part of the story is a little bit MacGuffin-like, but it's a thing.
All
right, cool. So fast travel again. I'm basically going to go in and where the heck am I going? I'm going to go in and try to avoid getting slowed down by the hero of strength, who's going to talk a lot. So I'm going to try to just run past her, deep into the cave and just wait for a lot of slow waiting. This is basically all escort quest here. So I'll be happy to turn it back over to our good friend Yagamoth, and we'll hear what he has to say.
Yeah, we prefer hear you over her.
Excellent. So we do have a few donations here, so let me try to read those real quick. We did get a $30 donation by Anonymous. The Shadow Heart series is one of my favorites, and I'm glad to see some part of it run at RPG Limit Break. Unfortunately, I'll probably miss it, or at least won't be able to donate because of sleep/work. So I'm doing it early instead. Thanks to everyone for all your work. Thank you very much for your donation. We do have $25 by Anonymous once again. I guess Anonymous is pretty generous. And it reads, "Thanks for being awesome. See you next year, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark." Well, hopefully we will see more people, and well, RPG Limit Break is really great to be here. I can confirm that. We do get, we did have $10 by Slinkin. Question for Vulajin. Is the actor for the dog in this game the same one as the main character of D-Dog Island?
Now, according to my father, we need to go through these 3 doors.
Yes.
Putting weight on the pressure plates will open the doors.
Alright, and we did actually get a
This one's the
$50
first.
donation, which was the one that was the last one that Let's Make the Date Happen by the amazing Toaster. Thank you very much for that. And Vulajin, when is D-Dog Island?
Well, we went on an island earlier, the one with the guild cave, and we took the dog with us, so there you go.
Excellent. So we do have another $25 donation by Anonymous. I love that people like you exist. Whoever thought you could help the less fortunate by playing games? Keep being awesome, guys. And although it doesn't look like it'll win, I really want to see Master Gaius pray for his own demise. I imagine that is for the Earthbound runs. And another $25 donation by Anonymous. Thank you very much for being so generous. And the donation comment reads, "Because Yagamoth's sexy voice."
Agreed.
Well, thank you very much.
So the story thing happening here is
There it goes.
that Hannah needs to collect water in this big jug that has a rounded bottom. I don't know why, it's part of some trial. But she needs to collect all the water into it so that she can bless the water and then go use it to water the golden acorn from the golden oak. The golden oak has died, so it lays a single acorn somehow. I don't know, whatever trees totally makes sense.
This is probably going to be the highlight.
The highlight of my life. The day I carried a jug through a cave. Hardly epic poem stuff, is it? It's a
Did you
great
hear
line.
something?
Nah, there's nothing wrong. Everything's fine. There's definitely not going to be any spooky skeletons attacking us anytime soon. So, since there's definitely no spooky skeletons, and we just got the water we need. You coming?
She also has issues following.
You coming? You're coming. Alright, great. Okay, cool. So definitely no spooky... Oh, come on.
It's a Hollow Man. Not to be confused with Solomon.
Excellent. That's good. I like it. I approve. So I'm gonna... What? Die! Alright,
But
there.
it's already dead.
Good lord, this video game sometimes. So the one problem with Inferno is the area of effect on it is really awkward. It goes in these waves, and sometimes the waves don't actually hit the thing you want to hit. That one was just, I was in the wrong position, but like other times, the waves, like the enemies will just happen to run through between the waves. So that was not terrible. Other than the first guy kind of trolling me, that was okay. Oh, okay, well. So if you get close to Hannah, she'll be like, "Oh man, like you're gonna protect me, right? Oh man, there's spooky skeletons. I'm kind of scared about all the spooky skeletons."
Alright, so now we have a race between Hannah and the experience.
Oh, the XP's gonna beat her, is he? Oh man, there's still more. Some of it probably dropped out of bounds.
This is where
Which
you
sometimes
yeah,
happens.
that happens.
All right,
I
we
didn't
got it
know
all.
they did that.
Anyway, get in here, Hannah. Come on. All right, so there's 3 kind of segments like that in this
They
cave.
must be trying to
So
protect
the second one's
water.
coming up. We're gonna stand on the second switch and
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
She just said the same line twice.
Those things didn't stand a
Oh god, she sings so many extra lines. This cave is really hard to optimize. Hannah just constantly wants to say things, and she'll get her lines out no matter what sometimes, even if you try really hard.
Guess we're safe in here.
Oh, she still won't open the door, please. Alright, thank you. Alright, so now the second door boss. She's gonna try to
Get stuck in the
try to
doorway.
make her way through. Okay, almost. There we go. Alright, second door is usually not as bad.
That pillar is bodying you hard.
Oh my goodness.
I'll stand by the fountain to catch the water, same as
Yeah,
before.
yeah, okay. So the nice thing about this little perch here is that, like, a bunch of hollow men are going to attack her, but I have easy, like, aim to be able to just blow up every hollow man from
Just have to wait until this thing
here
stops running.
without stepping off the switch,
You'd think
even though
they
it
would've
will
made this
kind of
jump
look like I'm stepping off the switch.
in case you want to
Let's pretend that the dog is holding it down.
But as it is, it
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what's going on.
and then where would
Definitely.
it be? Oh, bugger,
Oh, bugger.
You also can't target them if they fully spawn as well.
Yep. Fortunately, it doesn't matter too much. You only get at most 3 at a time, and they're not especially powerful or fast or anything.
Oh, and if Hannah gets hit, then you slow down.
Yep. So I'm doing my absolute best to make sure that they don't reach Hannah and hit her. Even if they reach her, as long as they don't actually swing, I'm okay. So if, you know, if it comes to that, I'll be kind of hoping for some RNG for them to not bother attacking her, which Hollow Men have really, really, like, okay. All right, cool, we
So
still
that
got it.
percentage bar is not time-based. It's how many enemies you kill.
Well, it's kind of both.
Yeah.
Like, the enemies, like, you can take it slow and not kill the enemies immediately, and the percentage bar will still fill. But you obviously have a limited amount of time before the enemies start actually hitting her. And if they do hit her, it does slow down that progress.
Can you?
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Thanks, Hannah. Good observation.
Yeah, she's not in danger or anything. She's just making some nice cracks.
So as mentioned, I'm still collecting all the XP. I'm going to be doing that until, like, well into the run. In an any % run of this game, I would already have stopped because there's be no reason at this point. Okay, cool. Got all the XP.
Back to the central
But
chamber
in
then.
glitchless, I really need the XP.
So what's the difference between glitches and glitched?
So there's actually one difference, basically, and that is that there's a big glitch you can do in this game to duplicate XP effectively. The way it works is in an unpatched version of the game, you can purchase a house that gives you a bonus when you sleep in it. That bonus is something like it gives you a boost to a particular skill. And then what the game allows you to do is it actually allows you to sell off your abilities for XP even after you've gotten them. So you can, like, learn the toughness ability, but then you can sell it back for half the XP that you spent on it. The thing with that glitch is the boost that you get from sleeping in the house actually persists even if you try to sell it. So you can sell it, you can get the XP back, but the boost stays, and so you can do it enough times until you can learn the next rank of that skill, and it will let you do that, and it will also apply the boost again, and then you can sell that for more XP, and you can really, really quickly get enough XP to buy literally everything you want for the entire run. So obviously that's a little bit anticlimactic. Also, look what a good boy he is. The dog went off and tore the head off of a Hollow Man. And Hannah has kind of a hilarious reaction to it. Good boy, yes you are. You did go kill that Hollow Man. Yes, you did. Ever want to experience the joy of being around an insufferable dog owner in a video game? There you go.
That guy does not want any of you.
Yeah, these guys are kind of awkward. They will spawn in fixed positions around the room each time, like each wave, but the positions are not consistent between like 2 runs, for example. So they'll pick 4 new spawns each run you do, and they'll spawn in those consistently. And then they'll just kind of take their time, or sometimes they'll rush you. Also, a neat little thing, you can actually draw in XP while charging a spell. That was good. good position. I'm gonna stay here. Oh, nice cutscene RNG.
You can now afford time control.
Okay, that guy's
Yeah,
learning
that
so well.
circle definitely lies.
Yeah, it's awkward. Only because of the waves. I'm helping you,
please.
Okay, so now we're getting another dude. Oh, hey, it's the headless Hollow Man. Must be the dude that the dog, whose head he bit off. So we're just gonna throw like, I think it's like 8 or 9 level 2 Infernos. And try not to get killed. We don't actually have that much HP. So we are pretty vulnerable if he manages to get close and lay the smackdown upon us. But so far he's not really posing
That's
any problems. So there you go.
Amazing! You killed a lot of them.
I'm glad you know how to count, because I actually like cannot count those attacks on that dude. I don't know why, my brain is just defeated by that.
Oh, you have to press buttons. I just chill.
Thank you. You were brilliant.
Alright, so we've reached the end of the trial in the
On we go
cave.
then.
Hannah decided to walk over to us. Good, except she needs to be over there, not here.
Done now. I know I said that before, but hopefully
Alright.
this time it's true.
So she's going to bless the water,
I
and
think
then we're
that's
going to
the last
suffer
gate over
another
there.
bit of door RNG,
Lords of Light.
or as I
Bless
like to
this
call
water,
it as
that
of
with it
this
we
moment.
may give rise to
door
new
NG.
life once more. As new life rises,
I hope that catches on.
so shall we.
Alright, so this door's going to open, and Brother Robin is going to try to squeeze through it. Come on, Brother Robin. I believe in you. I believe. You can see his shadow. He's trying.
Took a sharp turn there.
Come on. Come on. Come on. He made it. Yes.
Sister Hannah.
All right, so that was pretty mediocre.
Doorways are the final boss.
Yeah, I've seen a lot worse, so it could have been more time lost. All right, so one of Lucian's dudes,
He's got the
named
gun.
Hans, yeah, who apparently has a gun, has come to the temple and he's threatening Hannah's father, presumably because he knows that Hannah's the hero of strength.
Meanwhile, she just drops the jug you worked so hard for and plucked the hammer from the statue.
Yep. Rip all the blessed water. So we're going to make our way back to the temple. And Hannah apparently is really fast because even though we walked outside before her, she will already be at the temple by the time we get there.
Why didn't she show any of that speed throughout the entire cave?
So the cool thing about the dog, by the way, just a quick note, is that he will seek out treasure and dig spots for you. You get a spade at the beginning of the game and you can dig up some cool stuff.
He's one of Lucian's men.
Oh man, he's one of Lucian's men.
You're coming with me, or he dies.
Seriously, what voice there?
You let him go before I break you in half.
Yeah, let her dad go. Oh, oh man.
Oh.
Don't make me kill you
Alright,
too.
well, that didn't go so well. Oh, but, yeah. Hannah's strong. A little strong. Unfortunately, Father Abbott has passed away. He took a bullet to the knee and probably other parts as well.
I could have
Oh
stopped
my
him.
god.
But Hannah's fine, and she apparently managed to catch a bullet either with the hammer or with her hand. I'm not entirely clear which,
Stopped him.
but
if
she's pretty strong.
Why not both?
So now there's gonna be a funeral ceremony for the abbot, as well as a blessing ceremony for the golden oak
I'm
acorn,
sorry,
which for
Father.
some really
Look, I broke
bizarre
my
reason
vow.
they have planted on his
I'm
grave.
sorry I didn't break it
I'm not
sooner.
Exactly
this
what
place.
they were thinking when they did
We
this,
both knew that.
but
And now I'm
I
making
mean,
a new vow.
it seems to be
will die
growing,
for
so
what he
there.
did to you.
That grew pretty
I
fast,
won't
actually.
break this one.
Sister
Yes,
Hannah.
it's golden
The
and
blessing.
something sacred water, you know, whatever.
You do it.
As new life rises.
So Hannah right now is
so
pretty
shall we.
disillusioned.
As the
Her
seed
order of
returns
monks
to the earth,
actually took a vow
so
of
do we all.
pacifism. Pretty ticked off at this point because she thought that she, you know, shouldn't
Is that it
perform
then?
violence, and as a
My
result, her father
father's gone.
died. So
Gold
she's
Oak
pretty.
is flourishing again.
She basically feels
So now
like the
life
teachings
just
of the
goes on as
order
before, does
are
it?
garbage, and why are we following this crap? Because it just gets us killed. So that's her state of mind right now.
The other
And,
monks may believe that, but your eyes
Teresa,
have
of
been
course,
opened.
is totally happy to encourage that line of thinking and say, yeah, come, let's fight and kill everything.
Someone who can tell you
especially
much about
Lucian.
Lucian, where he is, what his plans are, and how you can gain your revenge.
All right, so it's going to be back-to-back
I want to know
fast
everything.
travels to different places.
Then
So
come with me.
this is probably a
Sister
fine
Hannah.
time to do some,
Call me Hammer.
you know, some Yagamoth time. And afterwards, I'll catch you guys up on what exactly we're doing at this point.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So, we do have a $5
taken
donation
Hammer to
by
the guild.
Fontaine Paul, or also known as Sally.
You've done well.
The Canadian
hero.
to USA exchange rate is atrocious, so I'll give what I can. I want to thank Vulajin personally for his help at GDQ and this donation as small as it goes to his choice for S ending. Also,
You have
Fable 2
gathered the
might be
first
one
of
of
the
my
three
personal
heroes.
favorites.
And we are one step closer to defeating
We did get
Lucian's
a
plans.
$50 donation
Your path
by
now leads-
Anonymous.
It will take
Good
some
luck on
time
the
for
run,
Hammer to
Vulajin.
overcome
Donation
her
goes to
grief.
whatever this awesome dude.
To explain her role in Lucian's downfall.
We did get a $50 donation by Not Mickey, and it just kind of reads, "Hi Tide." We did get another $50 donation by Anonymous. Please do not kick the dog.
Dude, agreed. Do not kick
Perhaps
the
this
dog.
would be a
Yeah,
good
that was
time
That
to
would be kind of
upgrade your
rude.
equipment.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank
I
you
believe
very,
there
very
is
much
a
for
saying
your
in
generosity.
Boston.
That is really highly appreciated.
may well be
Donations,
worth a
large and
visit.
small, to the organization
Come back to the
that is
guild
known
when you are
as
ready.
NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. We do by Alundra. I'm not going to be able to stay awake for Alundra. Ah, we'll have to watch the VOD later. But I'm donating because I love Alundra, and because Emilia got outbid by Asalas on Saga Frontier Run.
Someone or
Not okay.
something.
This will give it
is
a slight
coming your
edge.
way.
Much love,
I've
Nami
never
love.
felt anything
Where am I
like it.
going? Wait, where
I
am I-
don't know. Follow that glowing yellow trail.
What happened to my brain here? Where even am I?
Where's the trail? I think it's that way, yeah.
It's there. Yeah, okay. Wow. What just happened in my brain? I don't even know. Anyway, I'll give you guys a quick update now on what we're doing. So we're trying to find the hero of will now, because we already got the hero of strength. And the will hero is the second in the story order as defined by the designers at Lionhead Studios. So the hero of will is a gentleman named Garth. We're going to find him at the top of Brightwood Tower, if I can ever get there. So that's why we've come off in this direction. Unfortunately, Garth's tower is going to be under attack by the forces of Lucian. So Lucian is hot on our trail right now. He knows where we are, and he's sending his Spire Guards to attack us. And these guys are really, really rude. So let's see if we can thread the needle without getting attacked by them.
Maybe Lionhead Studios
Alright.
is
You
the old
must save
kingdom.
Garth.
Perfect. Well, unfortunately, like the old kingdom, they're not around anymore. But fortunately, some of their works, like this game, do endure. Oh
Oh,
God!
this
Get
guy.
out of my way!
Yeah, it was nice to get pushed by.
Yeah, he obliged at least by backing off. So I only have to get to the top of the tower, even though this is blocked off and it's a dead end. Once I get to the top, everything dies.
I'm scared of you?
Shoutouts to Ron Glass. Rest in peace.
Lucian's failed experiment. Nothing more.
You left too soon, Garth. Lord Lucian's experiment was a radical
This
success.
is the Commandant. He is pretty powerful. We'll be seeing him again. But right now he's capturing Garth, as you know, he just said. So unfortunately, we've been sniped. Garth is not going to be joining us just yet. And so we're going to have to find an alternative course of action.
There was nothing you could do.
Yep, sure there wasn't.
Nothing we could do.
It's not like I know any will abilities or anything like that, right?
No, but those burning furniture is in the way.
That was
That's true.
Lucian's
Furniture
combat.
is impossible to get over.
And apparently he now controls
Especially when you're on fire.
an old kingdom weapon.
All right. So the next quest that we've gotten from Teresa is that she got a lead on getting a hand on Lucian's journal. That is via the butler Jeeves, who it turns out no longer works for Lucian, but does have his diary somehow. Diary, not journal, I think. Really does not matter. It's the same thing. Anyway, so we need to get that from him, but unfortunately Jeeves is going to basically blackmail us. The term I want. He's going to extort us. There we go. That's the term I wanted. Also, let's see what we're doing on sales right now. Oh my god. All right, so that's not perfect, but that's really, really good.
25%.
Yeah, so a 25% sale is not the highest I can get. I can get a 50% sale, but 25% is amazing. So I slept there in order to get the stores to open. And Jeeves is actually right there in the inn, so I can go talk to him. But first, I need to do this because after I talk to him, I'm not going to be able to stay in town, and you'll find out why in just a bit. So meanwhile, let's see what he's got. Enriched XP, perfect.
I'm sure he will.
Can we afford this?
Oh, just not enough.
Barely cannot.
Is there anything you can sell? You have a health potion? Not enough.
I don't know if that's enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not
picked up anything else?
Dude, I'm gonna go way out of my way to be able to get this because it's so much faster if I can do this. Ooh, God, all I have is like my clothing.
I can't sell any bucks either.
Yep. All right, so it's my clothes. They're going off. All right, so we're gonna be doing the next part of this run, not clothed because I really, 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 really want to get that potion.
You'll get some fancy new clothes later.
Yeah, and it's gonna make my life so much easier if I can get this.
It's just enough.
I think it's enough. I'm not 100% sure. Wow, this is too lewd for Twitch right now.
No, it's a video game character. Shirts off is okay.
Oh, that's true. It's not us. I'm not taking my shirt off. Sorry. Okay, he went over here. Let's go. Actually, I'm not 100% sure that was enough. I don't remember the number. It was... No. What?
What?
Did this just go up? Did he... What is this video game?
Maybe the sale just ended, probably. Check the sale.
I am not clear why that just happened.
The price increased.
It did. It just went up.
Check the sales.
He hates me.
He hates
Why does he
us.
hate me? What did I do?
It's maybe because we're naked. Maybe because we're naked. Put your clothes back on.
I don't have any clothes.
Does he have a cheaper potion at least?
Oh, yeah, he does. All right, so we'll buy the cheaper potions. We'll give up. Oh, God. All right, that's... You know what? That's perfect. That's exactly...
Infused whale potion?
That's exactly the sort of thing that you you get to enjoy in Fable 2. We're going to get more potions. I'm just going to get all the potions I possibly can. That is plenty. Okay.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to consume these all right now.
Maybe we can just buy our clothes back now.
Nah. They don't do anything, so I'm not going to bother. So we'll still be doing which I'm sure will be to the endless amusement of all involved. Alright, so we did still end up getting a crapload of XP. It might not be enough for exactly what I wanted here. We should be good? Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay.
Alright, so we're still going to be able to do a quick kill I wanted to do, but we're not going to be able to get Inferno 3, which is a little bit annoying, but we'll live. So now we're going to go talk to Jeeves. And Jeeves is going to ask us for 1,000 gold, and that was why I needed specifically to have 3,000 and change instead of just 2,900 being enough. Because I need the 1,000 for Jeeves. And I can get the 1,000 back, which I am going to do, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to spend it here. And you will shortly see why.
If I may interrupt you real quick.
Absolutely may.
Speaking of 1,000, we just received a $1,000 donation
wow.
by
Oh, wow.
Is really, really generous. Thank you very much. And the donation comment reads, "Hi Vulajin, good luck on the run. I won't get to watch much this live week, so here's all my donations at once. I like RPGs and dislike mental illness, so I hope this helps. As a side note, where's the playoff beer, Vulajin?"
I just shaved it off today. I actually don't even know what the result of today's game was. If you still have anything left in your pocket, you are free to donate to tell me what the result of the game was. I'm happy to hear about it because I'm not going to pull out my phone and check NHL.com. Also, thank you very much. That is my brother, who is very awesome and also generous, as you see. Okay, so I'm going to be getting my hands on the diary right now.
This is the map to its location.
And right after I get my hands on this diary, sorry, the map to the diary, he actually buried it for safekeeping. Yeah, he's got some money to spend. We're going to liberate him of that money now. I am not too cowardly to double cross him.
The map will lead you
Few
to
cross him of that problem there, and now we're gonna make our move on to Bower. We'll find the diary.
No, we could just give him the money and take it back and then buy the potion then.
Because the police are gonna get you.
Right.
Yeah, the town guards will at that point, but if you leave, you're good. So I could like travel back to town and try to do that, but it's really not worth the time.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm gonna head over to what is, and there's something there. What is that?
Oh
Well,
joy!
It's a troll, and it's gonna troll me probably. I have a quick kill that I'm gonna attempt to perform on it. We're gonna see how that works. It's gonna start by intentionally getting hit while standing against this stump. As you see, some hilarious things happen, and I stand up real quick, and now I'm gonna go right in his face. And that does a crapload of damage. You are only supposed to be able to hit his little damage, and I just got like 4 or 5. So now I have to wait for him to submerge. He usually do 2 of those attacks there, but I guess he decided to troll me a little bit. Now I'm gonna try to run right behind him and charge up Spark 3 again, and totally miss.
Missed that one.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And now he's gonna probably hit me in the face. Oh, nice. Still got him. Beautiful. All right.
So yeah, before that he used time control, which basically just slows down time for everything but you.
Yep. Very, very nice spell that I did mention earlier, but and yeah, it does exactly what he just described. The higher level versions of it stop time for longer, so I'm able to do more stuff during that. So a level 2 stop time is usually enough for a level to charge up and cast a level 3 spell, and the level 3 stop time will be enough for up through a level 5 spell. But now that we've got the diary, we're gonna head over to Westcliff. But first, we're gonna go talk to Teresa. She's gonna translate, and then she's gonna tell us to go to Westcliff.
But it will do you
Crucible is, and that is a arena, much like the one that's in Fable 1. And apparently the winners of the Crucible are being recruited by Lucien to go do things.
So because all your magic is tied to one button, they have a different system of how to control what magic you have. So there's 5 different charge levels, and for each of those charge levels, you can set a different spell to them, which is cool and then also sometimes inconvenient.
Right. You can only have either time control there. So for that battle, I set it up as time control as both level 1 and 2, and then Spark as level. It means if I wanted to cast like Inferno 2, I can't really do that at the moment. I have to hold right trigger in order to be able to remap them. And it's quick-ish, but during the time you're doing that, you're vulnerable to attack.
It is the only way into the Spire, the only way to get to Garth and rescue him.
Alright, so we're going to start making our way into Westcliff. Now is a great time for stuff, and I'll just give the quick summary that, oh wait. Oh, actually no, sorry, just kidding. There's an important quest that I'm going to do first. Okay, so we're going to go to Brightwood, and the way to where Hammer is waiting for us, we're going to do a quest called Cold Comfort Farmer. And the point of this quest is Giles the Farmer, which again apparently is some sort of English meme, to have a farmer be named Giles, to go kill a bandit named Ripper. And that is going to take lengthy amount of time. There's kind of an opposing quest that you could do instead called Red Harvest, which you can get access to in Bowerstone. And the Red Harvest quest, the point, I really want to leave Giles alive because we are doing the Blind Date quest, and the Blind Date quest involves helping his son out, but you can't do that if Giles is dead, so we're going to have to do this quest, even though it's a little bit slower. But there's a nice bonus.
What do you want then?
What do you want? Bring Ripper to justice.
Apologies, stranger.
Farm by this route. That is going to get me the fast travel point, which I'm going to need later. And bandit camp, where I have a decent chance of dying at least once. Especially because I'm going to have to rely on Spark 3 instead of Inferno 3. I far prefer Inferno 3 for this fight, but Spark 3 will do in a pinch. And it's going to be a little while before 3, unfortunately. It costs a lot of XP. I'm not super likely to get that before the Crucible.
Well, at least that one can't really miss.
Yeah, that is true. That's the nice thing about it. There's no worrying about, okay, so I'm going to use some time control. So I'm about to get my face punched in there. Again, it gives me the space to maneuver and then cast a level 3 spell without getting hit.
Yeah, because just look at his HP bar, it's very small.
Some of these bandits are really trolls. Again, in some really dumb spots. So you probably can notice by now, if you look carefully, my spells in the AoE mode, and then I switch to target them, which is the thing I described earlier, where I'm going to do that intentionally, because if you start by having a spell targeted, it will take longer to charge for... I don't really understand the reason. Like why you would do that. At the same time, it's kind of weird.
I like how, because you're slowing down time, they get delayed hits. It's pretty great.
So right about now, I should really start gathering in this XP, because if you die, there's not a lot of... Oh god! Oh god! But one thing that does happen, XP that is on the ground. So I don't care if I die that much. But I that XP a lot.
Especially since it's really short.
I don't actually have a potion. Oh, good lord, please no. Oh, the cutscene RNG. Stop. Okay, cool. So we're going to come in here a little bit of a trick. Just that I'm going to unlearn toughness. And I'm going to relearn it. And that costs me just a couple hundred XP. It allows me to fully restore my health.
Yeah, so upgrading toughness increases your HP, but at the same time it also puts you at max HP.
Good lord, please.
So it's a nice trick just for a free heal whenever you need it. At a cost.
Unfortunately, I still have some XP that is specifically strength XP, so I can't spend it on anything else anyway. So I might as well use it on this trick here. Alright, so Ripper's coming down to meet us. Actually, I'm not really going to wish that.
At least you can count like a dag.
So Ripper actually does have one really scary aspect, which is he knows time control.
Oh boy.
I think I'm almost good.
I like that shocking
Okay,
animation.
good. That's good. Alright, so he's defeated. And he drops the Steel Cutlass, and this thing is going to sell for...
That'd be wrong. Very wrong.
Yeah, we'll spare him.
Okay, dogs.
There's exactly one reason that we're sparing him, and that is that if we spare him, we don't have to run back to Giles' farm. Giles comes here. If we kill him, we have to run all the way back to Giles' farm. So I'm pretty sure.
You're gonna pay, Ripper.
Okay. So after we're done with this, I am going to make my way off towards Westcliff. We're going to make our way along a long road that has a ton of bandits. I'm going to kill some of them. Hammer's going to take a long time to catch up. And then we'll make our way into a scary place with a ton of Balverines. And we'll talk about those when we get there. But now it's definitely Yaga time.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So, by the way, just as a response, started I don't need the message. Since Vulajin requested this for every game. Penguins 1, Senators 0.
Get wrecked, Sens.
We did get a $25 donation by Korobi, or Korobi? I'm not sure. Hey RPG Limit Break, I wish the best to our event. And by the way, Vulajin, when our Island in the marathon. Donations goes to Runner's Choice.
Well, we have received confirmation from the
What?
man in charge, Palexel himself, that is definitely an RPG. So, sounds like any time now. I don't know.
Alrighty. And I can confirm D-Dog Island is quite something.
Game.
It is quite a game.
Indeed.
There's much in them
We
that
did
may
get
interest
a
you.
$50 donation by, I'm going to put bands, Starfish, Amma, and the donation. Thank you very much for your generosity. We
Thank
did also
you.
get a $50 donation by MVO. There is no comment attached to this, but once again, thank you very much for all your generosity.
Just to be clear, that previous donation was for my parents. Thank you guys very much.
That is fantastic. We did get a $20 donation by Anonymous. Long enough. Names. Here's $20 to the name Breath of Fire Box A.
All right.
Okay. That's We did get a $25 donation by Emily. Happy to be donating during Vulajin's run. You started as one of my favorite streamers, and over the last few years you've become a great friend as well. Tori to
Two.
Donation is going to SMRPG QLX Fight for Pitch, another great friend.
Thank you, Emily.
They're coming for you.
Always interesting. What? What are you doing? Get off of my.
Oh, still
Go,
getting
you
zapped.
Smalley.
Just runs away.
Oh, what a video game.
Maybe a real quick shout out to what are we even Break 2017. We support the National Alliance for Mental Illness called NAMI. They advocate, they educate, they lead, and most importantly, they listen. If you NAMI.org or use the hashtag StigmaFree on Twitter or tweet directly to NAMI with @NAMICommunicate.
Alright. Hammer is finally going to join us, and
Infamous barricade.
Infamous
Well,
barricade.
Doesn't look that tough.
she's going to smash our face in with a hammer right now. Oh, God. Alright, cool. Hi, women.
Fight, you cowardly knaves!
And,
I think he's also a ninja.
What was that? In that case, like, there was just an invisible wall there. I don't know why. It's great. It's great. This is a good video game.
Highwayman, who cares?
Alright, so now we are entering the actual Westcliff proper, and when I play this casually, I legitimately was kind of on edge playing this area, because Balverines are terrifying.
Ah, of course.
Also, there's an
Place is supposed to
important
be
treasure chest
infested
here
with
that's items for us, and I
I
hope
heard
to get
this
to
one
use all
story
three
about these traders who got
for
attacked.
the purpose that I intend.
Balverines
So there's a
killed
steel cutlass, which I'm still not equipping. There's 2 resurrection files.
both
And
parents,
I
but
want
the
to
kid
keep all
survived.
3 of these things, which means I need to,
slaver found
one,
the poor
obviously
things,
not
took them
equip
back
the
to
steel
his camp
cutlass,
and locked them up in
but
a
2, not
cage.
die,
That
because the
night,
resurrection
kids
files
turned,
will
broke
automatically
out
consume themselves to restore me to life immediately if I die while they're in my inventory. And that is nice because it will prevent the XP from respawning like it would if I normally died. So it won't cost me XP to die, but I still don't want to lose the item. So ideally, I just won't die and also won't have to use the thing. Those are Balverines. They are very rude and will absolutely kill me a lot if I let them. That's for Frederick. That's a
It's
rock.
alright, you're
I
safe
want to
with
not
us.
run into that. That's a mushroom. It does nothing.
Can you show us where they took them? I think so.
Alright, so she says they took her son too, so we gotta go find her son. Meanwhile, Valverines are still.
The joys of being a hero. Gotta listen to everyone.
Running into a little torch. Now, slow us down a little bit. You don't want to go too fast. Sometimes you want to slow down by kind of face planting into a torch or a wall.
I mean,
or a door.
Hammer needs someone to keep up.
She really doesn't. She can just stay behind. I don't mind. Door? Okay, there we go. So we're going to go into the Howling Halls, which totally does not sound terrifying.
You won't let anything happen to him, will you?
Oh, nothing will happen to him. So the dog has found like a treasure of some sort, but I really don't care. Nothing that the dog is going to find is going to be of use to me in a speed run. Casually, I was things the dog finds. Oh crap! That's not the thing. All right, so I want to turn off my save. So I can kill this thing up here before Lilith even comes into the room.
So safety is there so that you don't.
What is this place?
But apparently both my spells hit the wall, so rip.
So now you can hit Hannah. You can hit.
I actually can't. It won't let me attack during this cutscene. It's actually a Balverine. Go figure. Okay, so Balverines are awful, and now I get to fight like 5 waves of them.
Hammer's got you back though.
Please don't. Thank you. Alright, so Hammer is actually making this kind of annoying. Because when I kill and she's sort of getting in the way. But at least he's dead. Alright, there comes the second wave. That gentleman is going to charge me from across the room. Please don't. Ow. Okay, well. That attack actually does not hurt as much as it is just really annoying.
That hurts though.
Yeah, that hurts way more. Oh, good God. Okay, everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's perfect now.
We're gonna do this.
Toughness 2.
I did not really want to do that, but I can afford it. It's not ideal. Where are you?
There.
What? What? Oh.
You missed.
Why are you alive?
Because Hammer's been. Oh my God. Hit.
It's kind of the main annoyance of Balverines. It's just that attack that knocks you down. Well, we can't until we defeat the prescribed number of waves. Come on, next wave. There we go. Please, please, please. Alright, so now we have to look at this. And Hannah's going to realize that she can use that to make a path across.
Oh, that pillar looks weird.
You look closely, you can see one of the cool features of this game, which is that physical appearance actually changes based on your like pursuit of strength, skill, and will. If you go deep into strength, then you will become extremely buff. If you go deep into skill, you'll become like slender and like you'll be in really great shape. And if you go on will, then you'll across your body like I have there. You can see them glowing blue.
Every death, you get a scar to show that you got destroyed.
Yep. Which I've managed not to do so far, right?
Yeah, no deaths. Close,
Excellent.
close.
Yep. Let's keep trying to continue that.
Hammer tried so hard to tell her she was pushing.
So literally won't until Hammer is done picking her hammer up again, so they're waiting for it.
Yeah, just gliding in place.
Okay, so there I got my weapon. This room is very special. Yeah, I know there's a chest there, dog. Sorry, the dog. I know there's a chest there. I can see it with my own eyes.
But can you smell it?
Alright, so we're almost done with the Howling Halls, and we'll head to Westcliff, and we'll be doing the Crucible. There's going to be a little bit of renown grind, so while I'm spamming the button, it could be, potentially, a good time. Yagamoth. If he's ready.
Alrighty, I'm just about to be ready. So we actually did receive a $75 donation from...
Nice.
Many die in their
The donation
attempt to
comment
defeat
reads,
Crucible.
I think Vulajin is pretty dang cool.
But
That is
defeat
all.
it you must if you
I
have any hope of
reciprocate that
joining
feeling.
Sweet. Alrighty. On this note, I would like to give a little shout out to coming up in our map. You have certain donation incentives that you can donate and bid for. Upcoming for Shadow Hearts from the New World, there is going to be Jealousy. That currently is $10 out of 500 for the incentive. See the Fight Envious Jealousy incentive. Well, you will probably need to donate a little bit more, and I think this is probably something going to be. We also have the Meeting Nominator. Meow. I'm not entirely sure what that is about, but it is currently a $90 out of 250, so that is a little bit closer to completion.
We're super low on renown, so this is kind of annoying. I should have done the
Incredible.
Bard when I was in Bowerstone earlier, but just means I have to do this a whole bunch.
Above the NPCs, mean that they're in love with Vulajin.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to love me, but, you know.
And the man.
Yes, so this game is really progressive in some ways, and one of those ways is that there are both straight and gay women, and there are straight and gay men as well, and you can play your character whichever way is appropriate for you. So that's pretty neat. It's really one of the the first games that was pretty mainstream to have that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Please, just thing, please. Oh, cool, we're done. All right, great. So we're gonna move on to the Crucible now, and this is the longest single battle section in the run. There's going to be a lot of combat. Also, here's a conversation skip that I must not hit yet. Now I can hit it. I'm to start talking because otherwise. And then when Hammer got there, they would have started talking, and I would have had to sit through it. The Crucible round has a different set of enemies spawning in a set of patterns. We are going to make heavy use of, I guess, Spark 3 for a bit. And we're also going to be able to buy a lot of potions. Since we did not die, we're going to be able to sell both steel cutlasses. One we picked from the chest. Both resurrection files as well. So we just made a crap load of gold, and now we're going to buy as well.
Does it mean you can afford Inferno 3?
It should, yeah. If I can figure out how to menu. I don't think I can afford lessons on that, though, unfortunately.
You can also afford clothing.
Yeah, let's not go that far. Alright, so yeah, I am going to be able to afford Inferno 3, which is what I really wanted. In a bit, I'll be able to afford Time Control 3. I technically can right now. It's way better at this point in the game. Hello? Please? Skip? Thank you. So we're going to head straight on in and start with round 1.
Get your ass in there.
And round 1 is at least pretty straightforward. It's just a cruddy, grubby, vile beetles. And so we're going to take them out with Inferno 3. They can actually be a little bit deceptively are not careful, so we're going to be careful. And you see these little obstacles around the room. We're actually going to make use of these to give ourselves some cover in order to kill things without getting hit. Alright, so that was wave 1. Also, there's going to be these little gold drops here. I'm not sure I can actually use these. I don't remember what the number of gold is that I need and have. But I'd rather have it than not have it. Anyway, here's the second wave of round 1. That was a little bit messy.
Interesting. Why?
Boring.
Vertical tolerance.
Alright, so third wave is definitely actually pretty scary because of these red beetles. They're a little bit resistant to fire. Only a little bit. They still catch on fire, but they don't take as much damage from it, and they have more HP, so they don't necessarily immediately die. But there we go. I think this is the door out? Yep. Beautiful. So I got a perfect round. What a perfect round means is I beat it under the time limit. The time limit, if you look at the... oh, wow, I missed that. Interesting. If you look at the bottom right corner, there's going to be a timer. That is the target. And then there's going to be the excitement meter. The excitement meter, I think, only determines like what money thrown down to you by spectators, which doesn't really matter to me too much. I can get along without it. Alright. Actually?
He's still counting down.
Alright, so I got Inferno 4 now, and that's fantastic. Much shorter work of these early waves.
Yeah.
Please, what are you doing? I'm pressing the button.
Bodied.
I am literally pressing the button as hard as I can. Oh my goodness. What fun. Why did I do that? Oh well, it doesn't matter that much, but still, why did I do that? Just come die. Alright. And then this legs, he can't get hit by the normal AoE attack, so you have to actually, like, target him with your spell.
They're not excited anymore because you're getting your ass beat.
That's fine. Why did I don't know why I time control, but it's fine.
It still works.
I love when you hear them slowed down. And hello? Are you serious? Thank you. All right. So still perfect round because it's really hard not to get a perfect round on some of these early ones. So you still hear that noise while I'm holding right trigger. That means there's XP that drop below. And I kind of want it, but there's probably not much, so I'm actually just going to skip it.
Just waiting for it to float up to you.
Yeah, I'm just going to skip it. All right. So round 3 is... what the heck is round... Oh, yeah, round 3 is garbage. I hate this round. It's just a bunch of enemies around this pit. Pit doesn't really do that. Enemies can be knocked into it. They're already dead, basically. So, where's the dude?
Nice
There
dual commentary we got there.
Yeah. Murray and something.
He's hiding really hard behind that pillar.
Well, he's doing something, that's for sure.
Must have tripped on something.
Alright, so these summoned enemies are really annoying. They take less damage from Inferno. Alright, so more blowing things up. Oh, good lord.
Including you.
Hello? What? Okay, there we go. I'm just not rebuying it. Oh, God. Okay, so I'm just dying instead. Good.
You still have potions?
They're not coming up on the auto use for some reason. Where? Oh, there. Okay. Good. There we go. Oh, my gosh. What? All right.
That makes sense.
Things exploding all around me. I don't even know why. So every 3 rounds, you get access to the trader room again, and you'll be able to purchase stuff. And of course, I'm gonna buy more potions.
Have a nice day. Sensible, but
I'll just buy all the different healing potions to have access to them. That makes this menu a little bit slower, but it's definitely worth having them.
You could definitely start using them though.
All right, we'll go ahead and consume this one right now. And let's go do thingies. A little bit shy of that. No problem. And then I'll get time control 3 later. So I'll just hold off for now. All right. Round 4 is one of my least favorite. Round 4, I'm just going to be assaulted from all sides by Hollow Men. Run in between those waves of the Inferno spell. Now the nice thing is that fire is very effective against Hollow Men. Whereas this is one thing where there's one. Okay. This is one thing where Boko and I, Darklight Boko, the other runner of this game, and I kind of differ in opinion. I prefer Inferno as this. Please cast it up. And he prefers Spark for the most part, largely because enemies can run between waves of Spark, which is a valid point. We're gonna do the thing again.
Yeah, it seems like Shock just doesn't do as much damage overall, though.
It does more damage for sure. The problem with Spark is it does its damage over time, and apparently killed some more. Oh hi, okay, wow, you are very friendly.
Oh hey, friendly fire.
Also very rude to your own. Please.
Boring.
Exciting. Please don't.
He's
Could
still
you
alive.
please? Okay, no, there's a potion. Potion. Alright. Be this like jumpy about dying, but I really don't want to die when I have what is currently a deathless. I'm gonna do my best. Of course, I'm probably gonna die in a bit. Oh, hush. These announcers getting on my case. Boring, man. Hollow Men coming wave after wave, doing the same thing, which is dying to my fire spells. I like these guys just chilling over here. Good stuff.
Have you don't die to your lightning spells?
I don't think that I can do that. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Okay. Oh, hey, there's another one. Cool. How you doing? Yeah? Yeah? Alright. Bye. Alright.
Entertaining.
Round 4 completed very slowly, but we'll live. Yeah. What am I doing? There's a button. I pressed the button. And we have 4 more rounds left in the Crucible. Alright, so round 5 is kind of funky. There's going to be this bridge up top, and then there's going to be a spawn down below. So enemies can spawn at both these places. I'm going to be under the bridge and use the AoE of Inferno to get killed by a barrel. But then I'm going to kill the guys up on the bridge with this. Their bodies go flying.
Why is that hitting now when it wasn't hitting earlier?
One idiot managed to survive, so kill him. We'll kill him.
Oh no, he's definitely not dying now.
This gentleman. Can you just? Oh my gosh.
We should have invested in Bear Ball.
Alright, here we go. So some of the enemies on these second and third waves have a ton of HP and ow. But they die just the same. Hey, there's more guys on the bridge. Yay.
Exciting.
Hello? Please get him. Alright, you got him. Good job. You did exactly what I wanted. No, I got some stuff. Most of it is barrels, but, you know, we're not choosers because we're beggars, as you can tell by our lack of clothes.
We sold our clothes.
I should not be standing this far away. Maybe I can hit him still. Nope.
Oh, hit the bridge.
Get out of the way.
I think he got hit.
Alright, he's running away, which is nice. Okay, that was actually. Okay. Another potion. just to keep my health high, so that's less likely that I is kind of awful as well. Each side of the room, enemies are going to spawn. I have to use these switches to knock them off. I mean, I don't have to. I could kill them some other way. But the switches are the fastest way by far. That is a lot of enemies all coming in the center, and they all died. That was nice. Alright, so I'm going to use this thing, knock these dudes over. I have to step on it twice, but the switch hitbox is really... The switch... Oh my good god. Alright, so that was cool.
Speaking of the Switch, I think we're going to have a Nintendo Switch as a grand prize for today. This week.
For this week, indeed. Oh god! We're fine, we're fine. Don't worry about it. Exciting! See, dude, this is super hype. Please.
Exciting!
On the Switch.
I can just stand there, charging.
Dang it. Alright, I was hoping to get this guy too, but...
It looks like he got hit, but he just didn't die.
Wow, that's twice for that.
And now he's running into a pit.
Beautiful. So now I'm just going to clean these up by stepping on these switches twice. Oh my god.
Exciting.
Where? There. This dude has the one spot in the room where you actually can't be hit and killed twice by me stepping on those switches, but wasn't bad. Okay, cool. Now I can get Inferno 5. Oh yeah, that's a shame, dude. Almost done with the Crucible, and things are going to get pretty straightforward pretty quickly.
I don't even remember how I did this casually.
It was probably long and difficult.
Definitely since I went skill.
You'll love it.
I actually liked skill a lot casually. It's really nice to be able to just pull out your gun or bow or whatever, target a specific enemy, and then use the sub-targeting thing to pick out their head and just headshot everything to death, which made it fairly trivial a lot of the time.
Definitely. Or if you really wanted to be fancy, you could go into first-person targeting mode.
We are set for the final 2 rounds here, and we've got all the abilities that we're going to need for the game, almost. We will very soon be done learning anything. This particular round is pretty straightforward because we are just going to... Ow.
We are going to ow indeed.
You guys are really getting on my nerves. So this is already the 3rd wave. So that's the fastest I've ever completed in any playthrough of that game. This game so far. Yeah, that was extremely convenient. Like that was so fast that the dialogue triggers are still behind. That's amazing. I've never gotten them to be that cooperative, so that's really cool. But it's still not going to be as fast as this round is.
Yes, the final round.
So the final round of the Crucible, the boss is a rock troll, and we're going to use time control to slow his ascent. And also glitch him out a little bit. Appearance, and now second time control so we can get off an Inferno 5, and... Goodbye.
That was pretty easy. What the heck is that?
Oh, what a video game. Yeah. Alright, cool. I'll just move on. Alright, so we have won the Crucible. We are the champions. We will now receive a trophy, and we will receive 10,000 gold because I believe we got all perfect rounds.
Yep.
So this is going to begin a fairly slow section of the game. Kind of get out a bit of explanation about what's going to happen, and then there's going to be quite a lot of announcement time. And we can use that time to talk about other stuff about this game as well. But first, so we've completed the Crucible. Hammer's very excited for us. But remember that the point of beating the Crucible was we need to go chase down Garth. Garth is in the Spire, and the Spire is way off in the distance, and We're going to be able to access it by going on boat because we've won the Crucible, so we qualify to go sign up to be a Spire Guard or whatever.
got in to see a few rounds. That one with the
So, we're going to do that, but first, we expect that is going to take a very long time. So, we're going to have to go start a quest right now where our good friend Barnum, he of the trusty Thesaurus, and he of the 3-month developerizing picture device, he's going to be trying to redevelop Westcliff. He wants to make it a really nice place for everyone to live. So to do that, he needs 5,000 gold. So we're going to give him 5,000 gold. We have more than enough thanks to, we were way over at the in the Crucible as it was, and then we got 10,000 at the end. So we got far more than enough gold.
Hannah has a good point. Once you are in the Spire, leaving will be difficult.
Oh, good gosh. Like gauntlet that these NPCs just set up. So, for some reason, he's trying to yodel. Don't worry about that. Alright, cool. So, Barnum was sent for me later, but it might take a long time to redevelopment, so to do redevelopment of Westcliff, so we're going to go to the Spire. The Spire is this crazy, ancient, old kingdom artifact that Lucien is rebuilding using schematics that he has acquired.
There you are.
And knowledge that he has acquired.
And a lot of manpower.
Yes. A ridiculously huge amount of manpower. So, the point of building the Spire is Lucien wants to be able to make a wish. The Spire has incredible power and he wants to harness it. Without spoiling too much about how the rest of the game is going to progress, because obviously we'll do it. But the ending choice at the end is going to be about what we're going to do when we acquire, you know, the overall, the power at the end, when we fulfill our destiny as heroes. We're going to have a choice between 3 things: the many, the few, and the one. The many is kind of intended to be the selfless choice. And so I guess it's the pure, like, good choice. The few is intended to be the kind of more neutral or not quite pure good thing. But that is, you know, you will save people that are important to you, which, of course, you'll find out about when we get there. And then the one is straight up, like, the obvious negative choice. And the game doesn't even try to sugarcoat it. So you'll see what those all imply as we get further along in the game. And you can donate to choose which of those things I'm going to pick at the end of the run. You have, like, still almost 2 hours to go to pick that. Alright, so we're in the Spire now. And it is day 1. And we're here with a bunch of other recruits.
And Bob.
And Bob. Bob is a cool dude. Bob is going to be our friend. Because, well, because he's there, I guess.
It's also who wants to talk to you.
So this part is kind of annoying. You can't walk any faster than this. I don't know why. And the guards always catch up to you and, like, shove you forward. It's really irritating. So, to get out of this, I'm going to run far off to the left here. And I'm going to get back the ability to run at max speed. And then I'm going to turn back in. And now I can just run to stand right in front of Lucien, who in just a moment or two will begin talking.
Yeah, you can see since Vulajin is not wearing clothes on his character, you can really see the will lines going around there.
Now, I'm going to take a quick break. If anyone wants to mute my mic, I believe it was number 4. I'm just going to kind of wander off. There's like 3 minutes of talking here, so
the world outside these marvelous walls is a corrupt...
Oh, this thing's rumbling pretty hard.
Reason
Alrighty.
is absent.
Well then, in the meantime, let me update you real quick on the current standing on that, well, ending donation and bid war. So currently we actually do have the one with $75 in the lead, but also the many are also with $75 in the lead, so they are tied. And just a little bit behind with $40 are the few. So, if you would like to see a specific ending, do, well, vote with your wallet. Further, we do actually, Mr. Vulajin, have a donation by Cool Matty, $18. These $18 go towards the excellent commentators for this run. The crucible commentators, that is. Kappa. We also received a $10 donation.
beneath your feet.
I'm going to be
These
reading this as soon as
sensations will
Vulajin
soon be as
returns.
familiar
You
as
will
your
see
own
that
heartbeat.
or hear about that just in a second.
And so long as your
I
heart
feel like that is
continues to
just
beat,
appropriate.
all
And ladies
I
and
require
gentlemen,
of you
there
is a
are
beating.
also quite a few things that I would like to tell you about this marathon.
Sleep.
So currently we are supporting Nami. So this RPG Limit Break 2017, we are in Salt Lake City, in Utah, raising money on behalf of NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. This is made especially poignant as May is the Mental Health Month. You can join the conversation on Twitter using the hashtag Mental Health Month or hashtag Stigma Free if you'd like to. Also, during this event you'll hear us talking about incentives and prizes, such as the Nintendo Switch that you can win. Which means, if you donate at least $25 or more during the entirety of this marathon, you can win a Nintendo Switch, if, well, you would choose to donate that much money. And we really do appreciate all your donations, big or small. Oh yeah, it also does come with a copy of Breath of the Wild. Zelda Breath of the Wild, that is.
Alright, so all that was pretty unskippable.
Definitely.
And there was a lot of dialogue to be had, but I already know everything that the dude's going to say. So I'm now part of the Spire Guard Corps. I've gotten some nice new clothes, so alas, we will not be doing the rest of the run naked. There's no reason to sell these at this point. I don't need money for anything anymore, so I'm not going to bother. But we do have this collar on our necks, which that gentleman just told us about, and it is going to inflict complete and total obedience upon us. So we're going to have to see how that works out exactly. But we're going to meet our friend the Commandant again after we chat with Bob here. So good old Bob has also become a guard in the Guard Corps. And presumably his girl Lil is very proud of him. So he's talking about how excited he is to tell her about the thing. This is Garth. He's in a cell. Bob?
Watch out for this fellow. His name's Garth.
I think my phone
sent a whole squad to go get him.
Definitely not mine.
Nice, nice. I apologize to Hannah, who might have just gotten pocket dialed by me. Good times. Not Sister Hannah either, but
that'd be interesting. She comes back and says, "You called me."
I did just get buzzed again, so I'm not sure what just happened, but it's good. I'm not gonna check. We don't need to know. It can be a mystery. Anyway, so Garth is trapped in there, and he's just telling us, like, look, you're not getting out. I'm not getting out. This isn't gonna be easy. This is gonna take a long time. I look forward to hearing what people think about the buzzing in my pocket. So yeah. Oh, another weird thing is that sometimes in the Spire, your speed just magically decreases. I remember we talked about this at the very beginning. Ton of spots that will do this to you. So I fixed it by unsheathing my weapon. So I had to fix it by hitting the left bumper to go into first-person mode.
That number is not random.
I believe that was also found by Dark Like Boko.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all the like really minute like optimizations that are super important but really non-obvious. All that stuff came from Boko. A lot of the basic route of this came from my work back in 2014. But a ton of contributions to that also came from Boko. Like, huge amounts of the work on this game are Boko's now. And as mentioned, he also holds the world record in 80%. There isn't really a world record in this category. I guess it might be my, like, 346 whatever. My last any percent PB from before we added the glitch to the run.
I mean, there's no time for it, and this is automatically world record, so we have a world record on stream, right?
Wow, you're spoiling my punchline here, so I don't know
you
what to
had
think of that.
a long time to hit it.
Some do it first. Misguided sense of personal honor.
So the Commandant is just telling us about how the collar works, and describes it pretty literally. If you disobey any order, the collar will activate, and you will literally lose experience. Which is not that huge of a deal at this point. I do want some experience. I want to learn Spark 5, which I don't have yet. But I don't actually need. Oh, right. I actually need that many more XP in order to be able to get it. So mostly I will be fine. As previously mentioned, everything is always a good choice, and the good choice almost always results in losing XP. And there's a bad choice, which is basically obey the Commandant in several different situations. But I'm going to do whatever's faster, and there will be some mix and match.
Because I tell you to.
And you can't move during any of this.
Yep. He is telling me to thank him for hitting me with his sword, which apparently does. Like, do you see my health bar? It's not there. I'm not taking damage.
Obey.
The alternative is you learn the middle finger expression right now, and so you have the option to use that instead. But I'm not going to do that because that is slower.
Excellent. Now, beg me to show mercy. You do understand the concept, don't you?
Yes, yes.
Good. That will be all.
All right. So thus begins our employment under the Commandant.
Week 38.
Yeah, so we're already 38 weeks into our Spire trip. Seems to be going well.
Straight in the blink of an eye.
The blinking of a very slow eye. Alright, so Bob's telling us he's not having a great time exactly.
It's been 38 weeks, Bob. Now you're telling us now?
Like, they made him torture some people who he isn't sure actually deserved it. And he's showing some signs that he doesn't quite remember whether he had, like, a significant other. I don't really remember either. But, like, he tells us, like, didn't I, like, have someone at some point? I don't know. Anyway.
They're not allowed any food, though, so don't touch the controls.
Don't touch the controls, man, or you'll be sorry.
I'm gonna grab a quick bite.
So I'm gonna touch the controls.
Tasty.
And I'm not gonna be very sorry.
Yum, yum.
Because this guy's kind of a jerk, like a giant, huge.
He hasn't even left and you pull the lever.
Obey.
Yep. So
Let them starve.
You would otherwise have to wait 3 entire minutes here. I don't have time for that crap, so I'm gonna pull all the switches. We're gonna feed all the tortured recruits and or tortured prisoners and lose some XP. Total amount of XP I lose here is variable, actually. It is a bit random. It's probably gonna add up to be around 4,000. I can live with that. Die if we don't eat.
I like that food that just keeps rolling around everywhere.
I like the fact that it drops, like, it's not just like a little bit of, like, gruel or bread or something.
Yeah.
It drops like a bunch of fish, some drumsticks, what appears to be a bird. I'm not even sure.
Probably a chicken that you kicked.
But yeah, you feed them quite generously. So now we move ahead to week 137. So it's practically been 3 years. And we are going to be sent to see the Commandant. He has a job for us. Any second.
The Commandant wants to see you.
Alright, man. Thanks. That weird camera angle change gets me every time. So Garth is still chilling there. He's apparently very patient. I was actually already going max speed. Excuse me, I did not need to reset there. Alright, so the Commandant, important for us to do. Look over to the left there, you might see someone lying on the ground. I'm sure that doesn't bode well at all.
Make you obey.
What happens to those who do?
Alright.
Who?
Lucian shall we?
Oh no. It's Bob.
Through my toil, through my labors, through my conviction.
So, Commandant's not very happy because Bob is kind of a babbling, incoherent dude right about now.
But those who cannot obey are useless.
And so, his task
Take this sword.
is for us to kill Bob.
All that is required of me is obedience.
Please. There we go. And I face away from the Commandant so I can press X to confirm immediately.
Now,
And, well, Sorry, Bob, but it's faster to kill you. The alternative here is I swing the sword at the Commandant, and he gets angry, I lose experience, and then he kills Bob. And honestly, I would rather put him out of my misery, out of misery myself. So that's the end of the first part of the Spire. And as Teresa says, an unloved task slows the passage of time, so it's gonna be a while. Who knows what other questionable things we might do over the rest of this run?
Yeah, it's true. Or just in the Spire itself. After all, many years later has passed.
The number's 10, by the way. Total of 10 years have passed. Oh man, that is an unpleasant noise in the background there. So now we're an officer. Apparently we were an exemplary model guard, so Commandant promoted us. Guard's cell is empty at the moment.
We still don't have a weapon or anything.
Who needs that?
The guards, apparently.
Okay. Touche. So, Commandant wants to see us in his chamber. We're, of course, one of his trusted officers, I guess, since we assassinated Bob. He's going to order us to go investigate the construction site now.
Construction of the Uppet. Investigate the construction site now.
So we're going to go investigate the construction site now. And what we're going to find there is Garth has managed to free himself of his collar, and he has also managed to kill a guard and liberate himself in general. So he's also going to remove our collar, and then stuff is going to get pretty real.
Yeah, he spent 10 years of just sitting there.
Biding his time, I believe is the relevant expression. But yeah, you're supposed to believe that this collar is like serious business, like nothing like normal could remove this collar. But Garth is no normal person, he is the hero of Will, so he's got this in the bag. And this corpse of this guard right now is going to have some nice things. Steel cutlass, a clockwork pistol, and 3 really nice health potions. I'm going to make sure I absolutely pick those health potions up instead of automatically consuming them.
You're no good to either of us, but
And now we're going to fight.
Apparently the key thing out the collar is 10 million gigawatts.
It took me years to focus enough will to destroy
Is that a precise measure?
I don't know.
Metric gigawatts or?
Nothing left. So when trouble comes,
I metric a lot.
It's up to you. The only way out of the Spire.
So the only way out is through the Commandant's chamber, apparently. So
ready yourself.
Oh, and Garth is like completely drained of power because he spent it all casting those 3 spells, 1 for each collar and 1 to kill the guard. That's the will user.
And he's not wearing the collar.
Indeed.
And you're not speaking of subtitles.
All right. So we're gonna kill these gentlemen. There's gonna be a lot of Inferno 5 here. And there's going to be a lot of right trigger because I need to collect all this XP. The sooner I do, the sooner I'm going to be able to get Spark 5. I'm going to use a little bit of Time Control 3 as well. Remember that Time Control 3 lets you get off a full level 5 spell. So I can do a Time Control 3 and get off me. And then cast Inferno 5 with minor interruptions. Apparently that gentleman decided that it was time to be a hero. Oh man, he's pointing.
But you're the hero.
Well, figurative hero. Lowercase h hero, I guess. Why, what did you hit? He didn't even hit me. He just like swung and missed.
They do that sometimes.
This was always an enjoyable video
Just
game.
imagine they're stormtroopers.
You always experience new things when you're playing this game. That's my favorite part about it. You always see some weird...
Those are my favorite runs to do.
Weird, unusual thing. And wow, these are really inconvenient positions.
Yeah, they're running towards you. It's like Baywatch. Oh, that guy in the back, though.
Oh, that guy was... He was good. Alright, we're fine, though. They're both doing nothing. Alright, see ya. Just a few more to go. There's a group of 5 here. bad. I waited way too long before charging up, and he's going for Garth. That's annoying.
Oh, these guys died at least. And he turned around. Garth was shoving him.
He's not even attacking. That's beautiful. What? No.
You didn't charge long enough.
You didn't charge long enough.
You're the one with the buttons.
Well, maybe... Alright, fine. You win this round. Alright. There's going to be another couple coming from behind. And there's going to be another 3 coming from in front. And then we're finally going to make it to the Commandant's Chamber. It's the first time I've actually ever been able to run with Garth up this
That's
area.
true, actually. He's usually way behind.
He almost always is. I bet the dudes have spawned right behind us just now. There they are. Alright, cool. I've learned new things.
There's 6.
Oh, almost.
He used the other bodies as cushion.
This is the most important fight of your life.
You wanna run, Garth?
Let yourself down.
Run? Garth? Garth?
This is it.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, come on, let's go. Please.
Try not to die.
Now I'm gonna do the toughness glitch again.
Not really a glitch, it was intended.
You're intended. Yeah. Garth. Ah, Garth.
He was doing so well.
We have to.
Oh, shut your mouth.
We're not leaving until the Commandant is dead. I know what you're thinking, but it's not revenge I'm after. Revenge is just a fortunate byproduct.
So what Garth means is that in order to get his power back, he actually needs to kill the Commandant. Because the Commandant, like, consumed his power or something. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're gonna kill the Commandant. He gonna die. This is an interesting fight here. You need to kill a certain number of guards that he's going to spawn. And until you do, you cannot kill the Commandant. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of AoE spells that will hit the Commandant, spray out XP, but he won't actually die. Also, he's really annoying. Ow. So we'll cast some Inferno 5s. Ready to kill, I think, 3 or 4 waves of these guards. Ow. And actually, interesting thing, I actually cannot right trigger gather this XP. I don't know why, but it will not let you. I mean, I sort of know why, but I don't know why they designed it that way. Alright, should be one more thing.
My death is inconsequential.
Yep. Let's do one more, just to be safe.
You have a ton of EXP.
This should be a killing blow. Alright.
What a dive.
And so as you see, all the XP goes to Garth, and he recovers and becomes all-powerful again.
Yeah, thankfully he's all will, which is just what he needs.
And after that, we'll be able to collect the leftovers.
At last.
Not much
I think
left.
it's safe to say you don't need to protect me anymore.
Huh, there's more somewhere? I don't know where it is. I have to wait for this anyway, so I'm just holding right trigger, but
We can use
must be
this.
far, far
Reach the
below
mountains.
ground. Hello?
Come on.
Will you let me move? Oh no, this thing. Oh, good lord. Please, thank you. Okay, that thing's a little bit finicky. Alright, now Garth. Garth's also a little bit finicky.
To be fair, it seems like everything in the game's a bit finicky.
Well, there are a number of finicky things, that's for sure. Alright, so we need Garth to, like, run all the way to the stupid ship. You, start running. Start running. Alright, I think he did. I think it's fine. I need to start running now. I'm running at, like, half speed. Alright, there we go. Let's get a ship out of here. Absolutely, here's a ship. And goodbye, Spire.
Nobody leaves from the Spire.
I leave from the Spire. Thank you very much. All right. So coming to the kind of the final stretch of our quest, but there's still a lot of gameplay left. We've escaped the Spire. We got the Hero of Will. We already had the Hero of Strength. So we're 2/3 done with our quest. Yeah.
Yeah,
But now we need to find the Hero of Skill. And before
I
that,
thought I
we
would
need
never
to
see
meet
land
up
again.
with our
I
comrades
thank you for
from
your help.
10 years ago and say hello. And the dog! Oh, look how happy he is.
Pet the dog.
Look at the tail wagging.
Your furry friend has been coming here. Hammer is at the inn.
What is Garth doing?
You should see her.
Oh,
In the meantime,
my goodness.
I will inform Garth of our progress.
Alright, he made it.
He's dancing.
I also
Take
get
my
my old
hand,
equipment
Garth.
back, which actually consists
We
of
have a
almost
great deal
nothing,
to discuss.
except a couple weak potions from the
Do I
Crucible.
have any choice?
Alright. So we got a whole bunch of renown from that, but we're still way short of what we're going to need to recruit the hero of skill. So pretty soon that's going to begin. But first, we got to go do some more NPC shenanigans. So we're going to meet up with Hammer and chat with her and make up for lost time. But in the meantime, Yaga time.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So, we did get a few more donations.
If I didn't know better.
We did get a $10 donation by Fitoros, and it reads,
You
wanted to
old
say thanks to
slag.
Vulajin for all his hard work
Man,
on RPGLB2017.
You look good
You helped
considering.
make it an awesome event
I
and
can't
something
believe
I've
it.
been proud and
Really
honored to help with. Please, put this towards the runner's choice. Thank you very much, Fitoros. Then we did get $40 from
You did it.
Sightless.
You
There is
rescued
no
Garth.
donation comment attached to it,
Took your
but
sweet
we
time,
really
all right,
appreciate
but you
your
did it.
generosity. We did receive
never gave up
$20
hope.
by Trojan Dude,
Kind of hard
12
to when
or
every
Trojan
day
Dude, I'm not
someone's
sure.
whispering in your head about
And
their
it reads,
vision of the
Yo,
hero's safe
Wula,
return. Honestly, there are
gather
so
thine
many
power,
things to
cast
snap
thine
to read.
inferno, and most importantly,
Anyway,
have a fable
welcome back.
as adventure. Good luck, buddy.
So what was it like in there?
We did receive
As horrible as
$3
I
by
imagined?
Kishura. Good
Well,
morning.
never mind, I'll find out
This
soon about
donation
myself.
goes to give Vula a shoulder
back in
massage
business.
incentive. What do you mean
I'm
that's
meeting
not an
someone who
incentive?
might have some information on
Okay, well, put it
you know,
towards
our
Vulajin's
number
choice.
3.
Less than 3.
You should go. You have things
We
to
did
do,
receive
people to see.
$25 from Doom
As
Bunny.
soon as I have anything
There
we
is
can
no
use,
donation
I'll
commented
head back to
attached,
the
but
field and
thank you very
Teresa will
much.
call you. Oh, and welcome back.
So,
I missed you.
we did receive
I'm glad that day at the
$3
top wasn't our last goodbye.
from Anonymous. Shout out to the trooper in the audience for sticking it out even at this late hour. Also, good luck to the runners, and
You'll
thanks
find
to
the world has
RPGLB2017 for
changed
putting
since you
this
last saw
amazing
it.
marathon together. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that.
So Hammer was kind of had some trouble with the door there, but
She's
fortunately
drunk.
it doesn't actually matter. So we have to head back manually to the guild cave now. Hammer has some leads on who the hero of skill is and where we can find him, but the quest like directs you to, hey, like go explore the world, like see what's changed since you last did the thing. And frankly, I don't care what's changed. I'll find out later. Oh, this is perfect, dude. Dude, no, who else gets to enjoy such luxury while doing their speedrun? No one, that's who. $3 is $3, that is correct.
$3, $3. And we'll take any we can.
Oh, this is lovely. Alright.
Sorry it took me so long.
So they do have a lead on the hero of skill. And in order to get to him, we did take a Cullis gate from Garth's place in Brightwood to Wraith Marsh, which is near Bloodstone. So that's what we're going to be doing next, and this is going to be kind of the second longest period of combat in the game coming up. We're going to have to kill a lot of dudes in order to let Garth open up the Cullis gate, and this is the absolute most... So hopefully I won't. I will probably exploit the toughness glitch a number of additional times, because I really, really, really don't want to die. It's not that costly. The XP, obviously, that you lose is really unfortunate, but
We shouldn't use the front.
the real annoyance is the like
Follow
10
me.
seconds
I know another way
of
in.
ragdoll animation that you have to sit and
Really
watch
great to be
until it
back.
finally decides that you should actually
went
be
back to the temple for a while.
resurrected.
Same old
You
nonsense.
still do have plenty of potions.
Yep.
Ignorant men trying to tell everyone how to live their
I mean,
lives.
casually, like, I actually kind of like
Thousand
the
years ago.
cinematic, like, death animation.
Right.
It gives you a moment to be
Nothing
like,
that
okay, I
ancient
just
could
died. Like,
possibly
what do I
contain any
do
wisdom.
now? Let me think about it.
Hey,
But, like, in a speedrun, you're fine. Like, you don't need to think about that.
guns that shoot
Just keep doing the same thing you were doing. It'll work.
It's a load
Yeah.
of
At least this
superstition
isn't too human, where there's literally, like, a 40-second death
nonsense.
animation.
Swallow it all.
That's pretty terrible.
Getting killed.
Alright, so we managed to get ahead of Garth and Hammer. They wanted to make us walk along with them and hear whatever sort of, you know, pointless prattling they were having, but we're moving on.
Remember, Hammer likes to talk.
You're going somewhere?
A lot.
NPCs in this game do have a penchant for saying words. I gotta remember, there's like a bush here in the way of the path that I normally take, and I'd never hit it before until just earlier in practice. I managed to dodge it. Go me.
Yeah, but you ran into a tree.
Alright, so I have to stand there for just like a moment. I don't know a precise amount of time, but just the trigger thing. And now there's going to be a crap load of dudes on this bridge on the way back to Guard's Tower, so I'm going to go with some time control 3.
Oh, nice one to just put away his weapon.
Yep. When you do time control from far enough away, they get confused because they're expecting you to stay far away because they're really slow because of time control. So they'll put their swords back and try to unsheath their guns while you're running straight up to them. Ow, 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 ow.
Oh, these guys are really after you.
Dude, they are going ham. This guy's gonna get me too.
No. Got him.
Alright, easy. Oh, hey, Garth is with me for once.
Yay.
That'll change soon. There's no Stabberino.
More like Slicerino.
Alright, that was good.
Hey, Garth.
What's up, dude? How are you doing?
Where's
I'm
Hammer?
actually gonna switch. Oh, I don't even have Spark 4 yet. Let's fix that. Shock 4. Whatever. Hush. So now I have Shock 4, and I'm gonna use it to kill this single enemy.
Right before I shocked you.
And then move right along.
How nice of the place to not be on fire anymore.
I have no idea where this dude came from, or those other dudes. Where did they come from?
Or why Garth's just standing there looking or something?
At least they died. What are you doing? Okay.
They're obviously trying to kill you.
They just leaped down here. I love the slow motion dialogue. It's great.
Yeah, that totally makes sense there.
There's still a dude. Oh my goodness.
Hammer.
Well, guess what? He ain't dude anymore. He's dead. Alright, let's go do the thing. There better not be any more guys up here. Okay, good. They're all gone. So now we got toughness 3. Got a little more buffer room.
Along with the 3DL.
Garth needs to get his butt up here so he can do this stupid thing. Yeah, yeah.
Must rely on the two of you to watch my
Yeah, I know, bud. Alright, so he's gonna channel a really long spell, and we're gonna get assaulted by a billion Spire Guards.
Yeah, billion might be an understatement.
We'll do all the work and you sit there and think. Let me know when it's my turn for a break, will you? Is that a shark?
And this is pretty repetitive combat, so feel free to go with any announcements you would
We
like.
have a
Yeah,
small advantage. They don't want us dead.
Alrighty, thank you very much. So, let's actually take a quick look at the current statistics of which ending we are going to be getting. So the ending choice currently is stabbing. Actually, interesting enough, the few managed to catch up and overtake the one and many with $85 for the thing. The one and the many just $10 behind each with $75. So if you'd like to see a specific ending, feel free to donate at the website. Donations are highly appreciated. And ladies and gentlemen, if you do not feel like you can afford to donate because, well, you may just not have the money for it, that is completely understandable. But, well, help us out. For example, you can share us on Twitter, maybe tell your friends on Facebook or Tumblr. I'm not entirely sure what those kinds of social media sites are all about, but any and every shout out is highly greatly appreciated. So And what is this marathon about? Well, it is RPGLB 2017. And it is, we are here supporting NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. You can head to nami.org in order to understand how they are striving to raise awareness of the difficulties that those suffer from illness, from mental illness, and well, it is definitely a worthy cause and a great charity to donate your money towards. And on this note, I would like to also give a bit of a shout out and love to our community artists and other people that are helping out, like the artists, especially LLK, Kerry Fry and Mega Weasel, who are responsible for many of the emotes that you can gain access by subscribing to the RPG Limit Break channel. All the revenue from the subs and the ads we run will help to ensure future RPG Limit Break marathons. But don't worry, any donations do go straight to NAMI. And also, we do have the Yeti. RPG Limit Break is once again proud to be partnering up with the Yeti to bring you 9 amazing looking t-shirts. Head over to yeti.com. That is the YETEE yeti.com/RPG Limit Break. Take a look at the designs. Pick the ones that you would like, and $3 from every t-shirt you purchase will be donated to NAMI.
Hammer.
So I'm just getting constantly trolled here by these guys, which tends to be what happens on this fight.
At least Hammer's actually doing stuff, which is amusing.
Oh, good God. This is probably dead.
Nonsense.
Alright, I see. Okay. You know what? Do I even have any potions left?
You should have plenty of potions left.
They never pop up. I don't understand why not.
This game is really finicky. Like that.
Well,
quick.
You're not wrong.
Menu bar.
Some top control.
God, look out!
God, look out! Alright, that helps. Thanks, Hammer. Real useful. So we're 70%. See how long this is.
Hammer! It's us!
Alright.
At least the tune is pretty nice here.
Don't let up now. Almost finished.
Oh my God, it actually hit everything.
That's first.
One thing that's really hard is making sure that, like, you actually stand in a position to charge your Inferno 5.
Like
For
that.
example, like there, where it just did not hit the dudes. Beautiful.
Nice job, Hannah.
I'm probably. Alright. Not dead, but we're gonna fix that. Recharge spells, thank you. Please don't die.
They're ignoring you, going for after Hammer.
I wanted to catch Inferno 5 there. Okay, actually it's fine. We're almost done here. Suppose I can just let Garth finish off. I can just leave. Beautiful, we're done. Oh my. So we're making it to the Wraith Marsh, finally. Unfortunately, the Colors Gate is going to malfunction and explode right behind us. Here, Garth and Hammer are not going to join us. Big surprise, we still have to play the game like by ourselves. It's not designed as a co-op game.
But there is a co-op experience in this game.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because there's more than one XP glitch in this game. There's the one that I described where you can sleep in a house that gives you a bonus and you can sell that. But the other one is that you can use the drop-in co-op feature and have the second player start up their character in the game. They start, assuming they don't have an existing character to play as, they start with an identical set of abilities that you have on your character. Then what they can do is sell all those abilities. You get their XP, so you can duplicate all your XP that way. And we actually used to do this in a very, very old version of the before we figured out the...
You had a dog with you there.
You had a dog with you there, like. This is old Greg. He's, He's not all there entirely, but he's got us in a cage because I'm not entirely sure why. His motivations are unclear. And this is the Wraith Marsh. It's kind of terrifying. Why momentarily?
No, you ain't got the stink of it about you.
Dog is nowhere to be found. I'm sure that will be resolved.
The ground if there was any justice.
Bloodstone is nearby.
So,
This sequence is really long.
what do I do about you?
There's not really anything to do here.
Reckon I'll burn you as well.
Apparently he's just gonna burn us to death. I don't know why. Again, motivation's unclear. And there comes the fog. And there goes Greg. And all right. And there goes Greg.
But you're still locked in the cage.
Oh no, how will I get out? Oh, hey, it's the dog.
You're alive.
What
the
a good boy.
Escape malfunctioned, and Hammer and Garth were sent back to... You've made it to Wraithmarsh. But you're on your own for now.
Yep.
Well,
Any
you're
moment.
not entirely on your own.
So the dog is nice and smart and brings us the
But
key to
Hammer
the
and
cage.
Garth cannot reach you.
So now we can move on,
Be
but
wary. The fog here is unnatural.
there is still that made that noise that did in poor old Greg.
Somehow it dampens the guild seal.
You know,
Bloodstone is on the far
they
side
can't
of
read
the
you, but she
marshes.
can communicate with you.
I suggest you
Yeah,
head quickly.
unfortunately. Your health is low. Do you have any potions or food?
You would if the game let you.
Alright, so
Something in the marsh
loud
is
noise
controlling
warning
the fog.
momentarily. But we're about to meet the source of the noises from
You need to
earlier.
find the source and destroy it.
Yeah, thanks, Teresa. I get the idea. Here's the loud noise. Yeah. So Banshees have a quick kill that you can do. Precise. I'm gonna fire off Inferno 4, and that's gonna take it out. So the first do with a Banshee, you can't damage them directly. You have to kill the little helper dudes that she
So stay on
spawns.
your guard.
And once you do, the Banshee becomes vulnerable. So what I do is use Inferno 5 from a certain distance, and the first wave will take out all the little helpers, and then it'll radiate outwards, and in the time it takes to get to the last wave, which hits her, she becomes vulnerable.
And that was a long...
So that's actually something that I came up with, which I'm really proud of. Imagine
600
coming
years
up with a
ago,
trick in a speedrun.
Bandits attacked the village.
But
and burned it to the
most
ground.
of the other stuff, like quick kills on the trolls, that's all Boko
The
still.
survivors rebuilt their lives.
And some of those
They
are really
died and
clever as
destroyed
well.
the
I
second
really
and
like them.
final time.
So this is the Wraith Marsh, and this is
The
actually
new
the remains of
threat came from
Oakvale.
within.
Teresa's telling us a little bit
reckless
about it
young
right now.
villager made a deal with the
In
forces
the
of
first
Shadowland.
game, Oakvale
took
was
the
the
lives
town,
of every
and
other resident of
you
Fable.
and your sister Teresa lived
All
there.
of his family,
And Teresa
all
was
of his
blind, and
friends,
so on and so
everyone
forth.
he loved.
So that's her origin story.
And
So that
now,
by
village.
like
And
bandits.
Oakvale
So I think that happened in the first game, Fable 1.
You're
So
making good
try.
Yeah, that's the very beginning of the game.
You're about halfway
It does
through the
get
marsh
rebuilt
now.
somewhere in between, but then it turns out it gets
be in
destroyed by
Bloodstone before
something
you know it.
altogether more sinister. Also, here's going to be another Banshee. I'm going to stop right here next to this little plank of wood stuff. Wait for the dudes to spawn, and try not to die. I missed it because I went too early. That's pretty bad. So, there's my only death of the run so far, but it's only 450 XP lost. You can see how annoying that is. Banshee, what are you doing?
Something.
Oh, bugger. Oh,
Got it.
wow, nice. That was very...
survive.
Yeah, so when I kill her, I'm usually going for a skip of that animation. But I wasn't actually expecting that to hit her, so I didn't know that she was going to die. So I wasn't really prepared to do that. Also, I do have enough XP for Shock 5 now, so I'm all set for skills for the whole game. And oh my god, that log.
More like the actual hatchet on the log.
On, get on the thing. Alright, so we don't have to fight it, fortunately. So the last thing that's going to happen is we're going to go to Bloodstone, and we have to get enough renown for Reaver, the hero of skill, to even care enough to see us, because Reaver's kind of a jerk, like a real huge raging idiot. Yeah, he has ridiculously high skill with a pistol. He has a very deadly pistol, so he could absolutely, if he decided, just kill us. But fortunately, he's not going to do that. But unfortunately, he just doesn't care that we're here and isn't going to until we have 20,000 points of renown. So we're going to have to get that many. We're starting from about 7,500 or something. So we're going to have to do a bunch of quest grinding. Much like earlier when we did the Cold Comfort Farmer quest, now we're going to do a bunch of similar quests whose only reason we're doing them is to get renown. And there's going to be 3 quests that we're going to do in addition to, we already started Westcliff development earlier, and that is over now, so did I get the fast travel point? Yes, okay, cool. So we're going to do 3 quests. First quest we're going to do is at the donation incentive. Normally we would do a quest called Something Rotten, but in since this gives the same amount of renown as that, 3,500, and we're going to do this quest anyway, I'm just going to swap the 2 in the route. So the blind date is a very meaningful quest to me personally. The idea of this quest is Farmer Giles. Oh, right, he's right here. Farmer Giles has a son, and he wants to find a wife for his son. I guess in his day, it was pretty straightforward. You just find the right woman, and just the 2 people together and make a family, and that's just how it works. But we're gonna find this. So this is Giles' son, Rupert.
Did my father send you here? Look, you can tell him I'm not meeting any more of his floozies. Oh, how much he wants me to find a wife and settle down, but I can't be something I'm not. I don't want to get married to a woman, any woman, you understand? I want to tell him, you know, but I just can't. To do.
So, in case the blindingly obvious subtext was not, Rupert is gay, and he's not really super interested in marrying a woman because he's gay. So, we're going to have to go find him a mate, and the game does, of course, allow you the option. You can either bring him a straight woman, or you can bring him a gay man. It would probably be faster to bring him a straight woman, but I'm just not going to do that. So we are going to find a gay man somewhere around Bowerstone as quickly as we can.
Definitely not these kids.
They're a little young. Perfect. All right. He likes the loot expression. I don't even think I have a loot. Beautiful. This is off to a great start.
Just show off your trophy a bit.
Oh, this will
That's not actually a bad idea. Let's go. Anything? Okay. I'll look a couple times. But if you repeat it too much, they get bored. So I gotta do something else now.
Maybe dance.
He won't be interested unless he likes me a little bit in order to then subsequently also like Rupert. All right, so maybe a little dancing will warm him up. Okay. All right. Not too bad.
Someone's falling in love with you, though.
What I'm going for. Thumbs up. Yeah, he likes the thumbs up. All right. How about some arm pumping? Yeah, let's flex or whatever. Something.
You're getting ready to roll dice or something.
Yeah, sure, that. All right, that was pretty good. Maybe he likes us enough now. He'll agree to go on a date with Rupert.
Oh, I don't really like men.
Not you.
I like the look of him, but
There's
I
a
would
new
need
job
to
in
trust you
town.
more before I say yes.
All right, so we're gonna whistle. Yeah, whistling. Whistling sounds good, right? Can you whistle?
Yeah.
All right, but don't do it. You're gonna destroy everyone's ears. All right, all right. How was that?
That was great.
No. Game, I'm going. Look, it's not for me. It's for Rupert. Oh, man. So the funny thing is I actually had never done this quest. Oh, I messed it up. I had never done this quest as a female character before, like yesterday. So I actually didn't even know if it was possible to get a...
He seems perfect.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. That's definitely how romance. I didn't even know if it was possible to do this as a straight woman, as a woman talking to a gay man, but apparently it's fun. Before we leave Bowerstone, we are also going to collect another quest in here called Evil Under, one of our grind quests. So I'm going to go get that started before I move on, because otherwise I just have to come back here later.
You there? Just the kind of woman I was hoping to run into.
Come on.
Good. I just...
All right. So this quest is based on, there are these two gentlemen, Sam and Max.
I certainly have no wish to see this Wraithmarsh place.
And they've wandered off to Wraithmarsh and done something really dumb and terrible, so we're going to have to save them. But first, we'll go on back to our friend Giles, and we will give him the good news that we have found his son a partner. So this is really, this kind of thing, like, let alone the fact that there are gay characters, or the option to, you know, roleplay as a gay character in this game. I'm not aware of any other game around this time that had, like, this kind of story.
I know
You
it hasn't
punted
been
that
the
kid.
same.
So now we'll
We do
hear
all right, don't
the
we?
conclusion.
Ah. Did you have any luck, my friend? Well, did our friend here help you find a nice girl then?
She helped me find a date, yes.
Great news! Finally, my lad has got himself a woman.
About that, it's not so much a woman. Well, a man, really.
A what? A man? You mean... You mean you're...
Yes, I'm...
What a bloody idiot I am. Of course, I should have known. I mean, the way you ran out on Sonia. And there was me thinking she didn't fancy you.
Are you kidding? She was all over me. I had to fight her off with a rake.
I had heard she was a bit forward. That's why I set you up with her.
Oh, Dad, it was the most traumatic night of my life.
So, you really don't like girls?
No, don't really care that much for farming either.
Oh, right, I see. Suppose you'll want to move to the city then, is that it? I guess it'll be just me and this old farm then.
Be silly.
The dogs.
Alone. Sell it. Come with me.
Do you really mean that?
Of
Well, so long as he's happy, suppose I am too. Once again, I owe you a great deal. It goes without saying, if you're interested in the farm, I'll give you a good price. Rather than it went to someone I trust.
You are now.
So the quest is was really meaningful to me because like I went through the same kind of the same kind of things. Like, how exactly do you tell like oh man, it'll be cool when you grow up and like marry a woman. Like not really super interested in that. But there's not really a lot. Certainly, as of like 2008, there wasn't really a lot of like, oh look, you can play a game and there's actually like the idea of being gay exists. So that was really cool for me. Obviously, as just being like, oh yeah, I don't really like women, and the dad is just like, oh yeah, of course, that makes my bad. But you know, like the representation in the quest really is awesome. So whichever designer, whichever writer on this game wrote that quest and came up with that idea, you're awesome. So now we're doing more rep grinding. We're moving on to the normal route, and this quest is called Hob Squatters, and it's a lot. Young. Blah blah. No, this one. Okay. Yeah. Good. Perfect. Easy. Solid menuing. So Hob Squatters. There's this lady person. I'm not really sure exactly what she is, but she asked us to go clear out some hobs that have infested a cave near Oakfield. Oakfield, not really doing so hot right about now. And hello, door? All right. Ever since we went to the Spire, it's been, well, they've fallen on hard times. So we're going to go in this cave. We're going to fight off these hobs as requested by the person that requested it. And it's a pretty straightforward quest. It's nice and quick. It's like 5 minutes to do this, and it gives you 3,500 renown. So it is totally worth the time and investment.
You know, at least Oakvale still has that golden oak.
Do they?
I have no idea.
I guess they must, but you don't. Oh my good lord.
Another one coming.
Oh, go away. Could you
He is
stop?
going in.
That hob, he went. Alright, you're all done.
Oh, good thing they got. No, never mind.
So stupid. Yeah, alright, you're done. Oh my goodness. Die. Did you die? Did you die? There's a beetle. Well, now there's not a beetle. Alright. So this cave is only really annoying in the fact that they, like, the hobbies are in weird positions and there's just walls there that you run into. It's really awkward to maneuver through. And hi, you guys are a lot lower than you normally would be. And as a result, I'm taking some damage, but it's alright. Oh, these are the only 4 left. Okay. That was not Inferno. That was Spark. I wanted Inferno. That should be alright. Okay, cool. They're all dead. So now there's one more dude to kill. And now he's dead. No? He's alive.
No.
Now he's dead. Alright. And there's a bunch of XP orbs somewhere. I'll pick them up in a minute. So, normally this quest is fairly quick. The entire route for the Renown grind is just based around what quests are the quickest to pick up. There's not really a lot of optimization you can do in terms of like combining quest pickups, so that's faster to do a pair of quests than it is to do them each individually. But you can do what I just did with the Blind Date and Evil and Wraithmarsh. You can do that, I guess, but for the most part, the Blind Date is not going to be faster than any of the other. The randomness of finding the right kind of even finding a straight woman can be somewhat slow if you try to do that. It's true that you don't really care whether you do the good. So there was it might be faster to do the Blind Date and give Rupert a straight woman and just be a complete jerk that way, but it turns out it's still not faster. Alright. There's a bunch of villagers here to thank us for clearing out the cave. Oh yeah, so as it turned out, the person who requested us to go clear the thing, oh please, go clear out the cave, actually was aligned with the hobs. I'm not sure exactly in what way, but we had to kill them as well. Oh well.
I gotta just out there ready to congratulate you. Only to discover there's a bunch of hobgoblins.
So we're heading back to Wraith Marsh. We're gonna do evil. We are going to have to fight off a bunch of spooky skeletons again, and in a spooky well, and then we're going to be directed by those two fair individuals named Sam and Max to go back to Bloodstone because they accidentally released a Banshee, and the Banshee is killing everybody in Bloodstone. So we're gonna go there and kill it, and then we'll return to Bowerstone and our money from Barnum, whose work is done there. So just gonna do some of that stuff. Nothing super interesting. How about some Yaga time? How about some Yaga time?
Yes, all right.
That's your cue. Yeah, yeah, you over there.
I know this is run, but
yes, the commentary is actually really nice. So, okay, let's see. We did get a few more donations. We did get $25 from Anonymous. The last time I saw Fable 2, it was in a college dorm about 8 years ago. I always wanted my friend who owned the game to use more of the will spells to his skill mastery. Then we did receive $30 from Ginnel or Ronstadt. There is no comment attached, but thank you very much. We really appreciate all your donations. We did receive $5 from Carney and Gabby Collins. Since my kids are sleeping, instead of watching my wife's favorite game, half as their dad. Well, thank you very much. And then we did receive $25 from another. Returning some of the hype Vulajin gave to us. You got this run. I am a bereaver of your towards Runner's Choice. Dash Ghetto. I imagine that might be the latest name. So thank you very much for that. So let's
nice, right into the cart.
So, real quick, another group of folks that deserve our thanks are those who worked on the Orlan and Namux, and those two individuals can be found on Twitter at is Orolin and at Namux _ respectively. So yeah, thank you very much to anyone who contributed in, well, behind the scenes or just kind of more or less obvious in front, like the runners. Those are all great guys, and well, this is a great event. I really enjoy just kind of being around here as well. I'm glad for the opportunity as well.
Oh, Mum.
Oh, you're just like your father, always chasing some ridiculous adventure. Have you already forgotten how he died?
Oh, man.
How that kraken grabbed him by
So we
his
are, as mentioned, we'll be going to West. The nice thing is 15,000 gold from Barnum for our original 5,000 gold estimate, so totally a worthwhile investment, and Westcliff will look amazing.
Did they cause any trouble?
But, I mean, let's be real, we don't care about the gold at this point. And once we've got to 20,000 after Westcliff development, we'll be done with Renown Grind. Cruise to the end of the game. Or the Hero of Skill will agree to do going to make us go on another errand, so we still got some more stuff in between us and the end of the game.
Speaking of the end of the game, we did receive a $20 donation by Cool. He says, so is one of the hops
That's cute.
Putting this towards the ending choices of the many and the one. Wait a second, what does that mean?
How are we doing on the...
I'm just about refreshing it. I will give you a quick update on this one. So the ending choice now, well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the one with $85 in the lead, with the many also $85 in the lead, and the few also $85 in the lead. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do currently have a tie. Any individual dollars would kind of tip the tie the other choice's favor. So, if you'd like to see one or the other choice, well, it seems like it would be pretty easy to achieve right now.
That's beautiful.
So, if a three-way tie, do we?
We would wait for the first donation to tie going after something happens about 3 hours and 35 minutes in. People are going to want to donate for a particular ending. So,
Definitely.
We'll see.
Now, but enough of that. I have a very good for you here. Your investment plus 10 years of interest.
10 years of interest.
Thanks.
And my heartfelt thanks.
It's time I found
so hard.
new pastures, new ventures.
The world is my bivalve mollusk. Farewell, eyes. Thank you so much, Barnum.
To use the kiss my ass expression.
Thanks, Teresa. So that is the audio cue that you are done with the renown grind, and you are ready to go meet Reaver. You acquire that expression, as so colorfully described by Teresa at the moment that you hit 20,000 renown. So we're good now. We're gonna head to meet Reaver, and we're gonna find out that there's a table in the way. We're gonna find out that Reaver's kind of a okay. There's a fence. We're gonna discover every possible obstacle in Bloodstone. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out that Reaver's. I've already, of course, described that fact to you, but well, we'll see exactly how much of a. Statue of himself carved. Hello there.
Nice surprise to have company. I don't get many visitors to my little coastal paradise. You must be looking for someone, and who else can me? A celebrity of your stature is bound to seek out fellow luminaries after all.
I really love Reaver as a character.
You didn't think anyone could escape Lucian's spire and prance around my kingdom unnoticed, did you? I even know why you're here. No doubt you've heard of my astonishing abilities and expect me to join you in some half-cocked mission to take Lucian down. How am I doing so far?
Perfect. 10 out of 10.
But here...
All right. So at least Reaver is going
In
to
a hurry.
send us to deliver this seal
over there
here
to the Shadow Court in
to the Shadow Court in Wraithmarsh, which definitely does not sound like an imposing, horrible place of...
and a dark seal.
Back and see me when you've dropped
So,
it off at the Shadow Court.
Teddy. All right. We can do this. Yes. Awesome. Okay. No, I think this works. Yes. Yes. Okay. So I actually skipped dialogue that I would have had to sat through if I'd missed a small window to open up the menu and do fast travel there. So that just saves a little bit. So yeah, we're going to the Shadow Court. The Shadow Court is the source of the complete and total devastation of Oak. Another Banshee. Same quick kill as before. And beautiful. I think you can add with Spark as well, but it's a lot harder. So Inferno is really, really tricky. So the backstory here is, for all intents and purposes, in the Shadow Court. And the result of that deal with the devil is that the entirety of Oakvale was just obliterated, all the people killed, etc. And unwitting Patsy here. But first there's going to be a little bit of combat. Surprise. I mean, I guess there's been a surprisingly small amount of combat in Overwatch like a casual playthrough. As it turns out, killing almost nothing, just the required stuff. So once we gate at the back here, we're gonna have back away from this gate shortly so that anybody can see anything.
Oh, they look like Heartless.
A little bit, yeah. That's pretty much all the enemies here. They're all like shadow enemies, and therefore they all do pretty much look like Heartless. And there's a dog. I don't know why I'm bothering to get anymore. I already did.
Seems to be stuck behind a shot.
Yeah, I can't tell where it is.
There, apparently.
I don't... Oh, okay. There we go.
Shot.
I would like to not die, so I'm just going to keep until I don't die. Ow!
He really went in there.
Sometimes, why would I do that? So there's not really much reason to time control. It doesn't really cost time. It's still gonna. I mean, it costs as much time as the
dog.
Oh, that's actually. Oh. It doesn't really cost any more time to, other than the amount of time it takes to cast the spell. And please get off of my back. I dislike you with great intensity. Oh, good, we're done. Yes.
You stopped that time.
Alright. And now...
Why is she even here?
Please, help me.
Well, she's about to tell us.
Me and some friends, we were reading from this really old book we found. It had all these strange words. Then there was this bright light, and I woke up here.
Because I know when I find a book that just has like weird incantations in some ancient like dark language, the first thing I think to do is just read it out loud. Like clearly that will not summon me to the dark nether realm and cause my life to potentially be forfeit.
That sounds like the plot of every single game of Call of Cthulhu ever played.
So these are the Shadow Judges. Go with Reaver. In exchange for the youth and innocence of people, they will allow him to preserve his youth.
Only one is required.
So Reaver's actually several hundred years old, but
One will trade their youth and
he continually dupes people into doing this bargain. So we're in possession of the Dark Seal. The Lady Elizabeth is not. She's just accidentally here. Now we actually get to choose. We can either hold the seal and we'll become slightly older, or we can give it to her and she'll become slightly older.
Slightly older.
Well, significantly. Honestly, I literally don't know whether it's faster or slower to give her the thing. It's such a pain to time something like this because you have to do it and then like go way back in your save file to some point and do it again. And it's just like, I don't want to. I think it's faster to hold on to it. If it's not, it's probably about like a tiny minuscule amount of time, so I just don't really care that much. Yeah, I mean, you have to wait no matter what. Oh, well, I guess I'm getting old. Rip.
Eh, you didn't have hair anyways.
Alright. I don't really look that different, to be honest. I really like the design of this.
We will come for you.
You are truly selfless. You say for stranger.
Fast travel.
Now Reaver must fulfill his part of your bargain.
Okay. Everything. We are heading to the final. First, we're going to go pick up Reaver. He will be absent to see us again. and then everything is going to become pretty hectic.
First auto-saving.
I won't complain, like, in the moment when the game crashes, I'm not going to complain for an instant about those autosaves.
Hey, have another one.
Even this one. All right, and here we're really going to see what an absolute jerk Reaver is. So this is our good friend Barnum. He's back again. He's taking a picture of Reaver. We will see what Reaver thinks about that.
We're done.
And you're sure that it'll look like me?
Exactly like you, sir. In 3 months, the picture will be developerized and...
3 months?
That's no good. Welp. Rest in peace, Barnum.
But oh dear, not as vivacious as you once were. Those judges can be a nuisance, can't they? You have my Sorry, am I boring you?
Yes.
All right. What
All right.
exactly was
So
that?
Bloodstone's under attack, and
Reaver, the city's under attack.
it's under attack.
By a bloody
And it's by
army.
Lucian.
Right,
So we're going to
I'm
have
leaving.
to
Coming along?
escape from Reaver's mansion. We're going to do so through an area called Reaver's Rear Passage.
I recommend we
And
flee down this road.
at the end of Reaver's Rear Passage, we will exit onto the beach and have the effectively final boss at that point. So there will still be a lot of gameplay after that, however. So you don't have to be sitting there waiting on time or anything. It's going to be a while still. So Reaver's an interesting character. He is like as absolutely self-absorbed as possible.
I don't think they've been used for about 300 years.
He's also like, well, he's a bit of a playboy. He will he'll be with absolutely anybody. It really doesn't matter as long as he can have a good time. That's really all he cares about. And of course, he thinks very highly of himself. Like, man, I can't imagine someone with a higher opinion of themselves than Reaver.
Not worthy of that uniform.
Alright, so I think I'm getting the speed down effect, so I'm going to make sure I don't draw my gun, because if I draw my gun in that spot, there's a high likelihood I'll try to target one of those dudes. And boy, that guy is all over me, so I still can't draw my gun. And then those targets are there, so I still can't do it. So if I'm running slower than max speed, I can't really fix it right now. Now I should be able to. There's a minecart kind of screwing up my path through. That's alright. Still can't draw my gun. And there's no real other great way to reset my speed other than doing left bumper, which I don't really want to do because that'll stop me in my tracks, even for just a moment. So I think I was actually at max speed the whole way there. So that was good. Now we will be exiting the area. Nearly there. Oh, goodness, rocks. There's actually a really cool scene that would happen in that room that I just went through just now if I actually waited for Reaver. He would demonstrate his absolute skill and mastery with his pistol by, like, in one shot killing all six of those dudes. Or at least what looks like practically one shot.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, but obviously it would be slow to wait for
Good
that.
to see you again. Hope we didn't miss too much.
Sounded like a massacre.
So
Are all the soldiers gone?
here's where we're going to fight the final boss.
I don't know how much
Reaver's ship
killing
is
I can
over there.
stand.
Well,
Wolverines and
it might
bandits
not be
behind
for
every
long.
rock and tree, and everyone I kill, 2 more take its place.
All the heroes are together. We've assembled the group. The dog.
I'm also leaving.
Apparently in some pain. Well, he'll be fine.
Oh yes. 3, 2, 1.
Blew up his rear passage.
And any other lurking nasties in the tunnel will now have a bit of a headache. Which means I've just saved us all.
Aren't I nice?
In a few moments, I'll be sailing away to safety on my escape ship.
Yeah?
Where I
Yeah?
said we're
Are you? Is that what you're doing? So this is the final boss. It is the Great Shard. It's a shard and it's great. Like as in big. I can't really do any damage to it until it exposes its core. It's not going to do that until I kill a wave of enemies, which I'm going to do right here.
Oh my god, that sun.
Hopefully without getting killed. Oh yeah, it gets real bright. Ow. Ow. Oh my good lord.
Good frag doll. No, not the dog.
No, the dog. Oh my goodness. Could you please actually stop? Thank you. Okay. Nope, you're coming straight at me again. Oh, you are both very rude. Okay. Should open up my... Oh, good lord. Let's get over here. Yeah, so sometimes the thing will shoot you. You don't really want to get shot.
I know it has one.
Alright, Garth. Do your thing. So Garth is going to try to find a way to expose its weak point. And he's just going to cast random spells at it, even though the only one that actually works is Spark. Shock. Shark. Yeah, Shark. Gotta cast Shark 5. So when it does expose its...
Why not Spark 5?
Its juicy bits, we will be able to deal basically 50% of its life in one hit with Shock 5. Come on. Come on.
That's it. Long sustained attacks. It's the only way to bring it
Long
down.
sustained attack.
Sure, man. Whatever you say. Open up. Open up and let the sunshine in. Okay, there we go. Alright, so there's about 50% of its health. And so I just need to do that one more time.
Very good. Yes.
Kind of amusing, like, what happened to Shock after how immensely overpowered it was in Fable 1.
Oh. Kill the dudes. Oh, that is a serious troll. Oh, this is an extra troll. I'm so dead.
Is that a potion left?
Yeah. It'll take time to open up the menu. I think all the dudes are almost dead.
The dog is whimpering.
Oh. It's alright, the dog.
Is that another spire I see?
Yes, but it's fine, because that's the final boss.
Give it everything you've got.
What are you... Wow.
Just trying to kill you first.
Alright, JKLOL. Yeah. It has no HP.
By the way, not dead, JK lol.
Look at that XP. There, I killed it with a gunshot. We're done. What a juicy jerk. Jerky juice. What is happening? Alright, so one, I can't say words anymore. And two, why is this thing alive?
We did it. Whoever deserves this. She deserves this.
You know, you think you've seen everything in Fable, and yeah, good conversation.
Oh my god.
This is the absolute most appropriate thing that could possibly have happened in my marathon run.
Oh
The biggest showing that Fable 2 will probably ever get.
I think camera's down.
Are we serious? Can we do the thing? What is happening?
This sounds like a girl. I think of course I am doing anything. I think it's safe to say we've never seen that before.
Alright. So this is one of the longest sequences coming up of not doing anything in the game. However, this is not a great time for donations or anything because this is the finale of the story, basically. So we'll talk about it a little bit. So basically we're talking about like, oh, you know, why does Lucian want all this power? And
When I knew him, he wanted to rest.
basically it all comes back to the fact that Lucian lost his, you know, wife and daughter. And he kind of went a little bit crazy. And he already was kind of a historian interested in the antiquities and the Old Kingdom and stuff. And so he knew about the power that was available from something like the Spire. So basically, as Darth just, you know, so eloquently put it, you give a beggar $1 million gold and he'll buy bread until he's full. Then he'll realize that there's other stuff for sale besides bread. So the idea, obviously, is, you know, he wants a little power to restore his family, but then he realizes, wait, I can do so much more. Like, control the world, or whatever it is, you know, exactly. So right now, some weird, crazy thing is happening. I don't even know what this is. But something, heroes, I don't know, whatever. Also, Teresa's gonna disappear. Shrug.
She needs a break after getting tagged by that small shard.
Well, that's for sure.
That hurt.
Alright. So all the heroes are kind of weakened right now, except me. I'm feeling great, let me tell you. So now Teresa's gone, so like what are we even supposed to do? No one really knows.
I don't know. On to the far edge of my knowledge when she stepped into the center.
Well,
this can't be good.
I'll tell you who might know. Lucian might know. And here he is.
Heroes. Enough power to build a new world, and you waste it trying to save the old one.
A+ powers of deduction.
Your eyes.
Yeah, we can read the subtitles.
The ruins of the old kingdom are all around us.
And soon they will be buried under the new kingdom. And you're looking at the new king.
Pretender. Your fall will be hard.
Reaver with his contribution here.
Deal still stands, Lord Lucian. King Lucian. In fact, you can have these people for free.
I would have loved to see a lot more interaction between the three heroes in this game, but alas, you only get to have Reaver for a short time. Alright, so we are fast approaching the end of the game. There will be about 10 more minutes of stuff between now and then, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of the stuff about the ending. So in building the Spire, Lucian has killed many people, a ton of people. So we choose the many ending. That will restore all those people to life, all the people of Albion.
This time is different.
The one ending is the selfish ending. It's just you will get all the riches and wealth you could possibly want.
What is it, like 10 million gold?
And unfortunately, poor the dog
Pitiful creature.
does not make it.
Misguided.
But if you choose the few ending,
The last time
the dog will come back to life. In addition, Lucian actually at this point,
of course you're only a child.
if you married, had a family, she'll that too. So the few would restore those as well, but I didn't bother doing that because it's a speed run. Alright, so we're going home, apparently.
Home.
After getting shot in the face
Again.
by Lucian. Again. Let's see if I can do this. I think I can pull off a skip here. Maybe? Maybe? No. Alright, cool.
Come on, little spell.
So, now we're in our home, which is apparently where we used to live back in the day, before we were beggars in Barstone. And so, of course, there's lots of things to do out on the farm. Rose has planned a fun day for us. We're going to go have a great time in bed. So, that skips having to do any of that crap.
Andayo.
Alright. And now it's night, and you can hear the music box playing for some weird reason. So we're going to go chase after the sound.
Where are you going?
You can hear it getting louder. I wonder what's over in this direction.
Are you mad? It's
Are you
dangerous
mad?
out there. Don't go.
And, well, I don't know exactly what's trying to be conveyed here, but I guess it's the idea that you and your sister Rose used to used to live on like a nice farm with a family, and your parents were killed in some sort of horrible thing, and now here we are getting the music box. So this is a neat little retrospective on all the stages of the game that you went through, and what your character looked like at all those points, and all the key things in your playthrough of this game. It's not like this is all tailor-made to like how you progress through the game, including like extra stuff that you did, like starting a family or whatever, which is I didn't do any of that crap. This is the same every time, and it's just the basics. So while this is playing, and it's like multiple minutes, Yaga time for probably the last time.
Excellent, thank you very much. And well, let me give you a quick update on the donation or bid war between and the lead. We do have, let me refresh this real quick, so I am currently on the newest level here. We do have currently the one in the lead with $95. In second place we have with $86, the few. The many are with $85, a little bit behind. So pretty much any of the choices can still quite pretty much make it. Which one it's going to be, we won't know. We will have to vote before voting.
Forgot about that.
Oh yeah. So, and we did receive a few donations here. So, we did receive a $3 donation by Sylph. I do not have much to give this time, but I needed to donate after the blind date quest. Thank you, Vulajin, for bringing attention to the representation. Then we have $25 by Eat the Pen. I always try to donate to Vulajin's runs, because he was on Twitch when I first started speedrunning Bastion in about 2014. P.S. Please stop giving Art Dice credit for the lucky drop variation I found. It's like my only contribution to speedrunning.
My apologies if I have done that.
So, we did get $10 from Cornish, Dakota. I put countless house onto this game when I was younger. The nostalgia is real right now. I might be hours. We did receive a $100 donation by Neon Elephant. Vulajin's commentary of this run is great. Always fun to see entertaining runs of games I know nothing about.
You have passed the test.
I can 100% agree
Your
with that,
rewards are the
even if you don't know
opportunity to
anything
confront your
about
enemy
the commentary here
and the
is
means to destroy
really, really nice from Vulajin.
Alright, so we are coming to the end of this.
Take the box and go to him.
We have passed the test. I don't know what that means, but we're getting the music box, and apparently that is the means to destroy Lucian. So we're going to go after him. This is the very end. Let's go with cutting off the bid war for the ending the moment I finish off Lucian, which of course I'll call out.
So apparently all you need is 5 gold pieces to beat him.
Dude, we got this. Well, as it turns out, when you're like a decrepit old man, having spent the entirety of your life like doing all these horrible things to build up the spire,
Twice you've cheated.
there's not a lot left in you.
Yet your abilities.
Alright, so Lucian's got the power of the spire, he's got the power of the heroes.
Which will soon be mine.
He seems like he's going to be unstoppable. He could even put us to sleep? Oh, no he can't. But we have a music box, and that is more powerful than all that crap combined. So we are going to suck all the power out of him. One weird line at a time. Until we're done.
I will put an end to chaos. Stop now, you fool! You insect! I order you to stop!
I don't think so. And,
Too bad you're an insomniac.
well, yeah. I mean, it is pretty late. I would like to go to bed. But, first... See ya. Go ahead and cut that off. So, Lucian meets an unceremonious end there.
Lucian's dead.
And we'll just give it a few seconds in case anyone tried to snipe.
Now?
Well then, I'm refreshing here and to see what it is going to be.
It is time you gained your reward. Your gift for saving the world from a madman's selfish dream. The spire has awakened, and it still has the power to grant one wish. Yours. Come. Take my hand.
It's all right, little sparrow. Don't
So,
be afraid.
the final standings for
You
the
stand in the heart
choices
of the
is
spire.
with the money in
As the
the
Archon
third
of
place
Fable
with
Kingdom
a
did,
donation amount of
thousands of years ago.
$85.
Now it is your turn.
And in
Make
the
a wish,
second place
but choose
with
wisely,
$86
for
we
it
have
will
the
affect
few,
all of Albion.
and the one with
Sacrifice.
$95 is in
You may
first
choose
place.
to revive
All
all
right.
those who died in the
So,
spire's making.
as Teresa's describing
a
now,
selfless
sacrifice is the selfless
Your
choice.
only reward will be the
You will get the gratitude of
Albion.
Albion for restoring all the
Love.
people, but not much
Those
else.
dearest to you.
Love
Even
is
your
that your
faithful
family is
dog
restored to
will
life,
be
your
restored
dog is
to
restored to life, and by the way, the dog's
But
actually an
their
important,
lives come at the
like,
cost
game
of
mechanic,
countless
so
innocents who died in building the spire.
losing the dog really
Or
sucks a lot.
More gold than you
And
can
I
imagine
actually, so about the
spend
wealth
on
thing,
whatever
well actually, I'll
pleases you.
show you what you get from wealth.
But any you love,
But it's
and all
gold,
the
you get
spire's
a crap load of
prisoners will
gold,
remain dead,
and
will
everybody
not
else
witness
stays
your
dead,
newfound
and
affluence.
sucks for them.
What
So,
will you choose?
that is what we're picking, the one. Wealth.
You know, with something this powerful, why are these choices only to revive people
So
or give
be
you
it.
money? Why can't it
Sure,
just
you
be
could
all?
be-
Why can't it just be all three?
Yeah, you could probably be a little more imaginative, like
When you
get
return to
godlike
land,
power and
you will
destroy
find
the
wealth
world or
beyond the
whatever.
measure of man.
Anyway,
And
so
those
there's
who
actually an
make
interesting
claims
thing. We
selfish or
continue timing
careless will be
until
able to do little
the credits
but
actually
bemoan
begin,
their losses and
because there's
see
technically still
everything.
control in that until that time. And so the ending you choose changes the dialogue
We
here,
heard
and
everything.
it actually like takes less
Yes,
or more time
a wish
depending on
was
which one you
made,
pick. So
and
it
the
used to be
world
the
will
case that
bear
we
its
picked
consequences.
wealth intentionally because it was less dialogue to do that.
Have you lost your mind?
But if you're primarily
agrees
good,
with
as
your
we were in this
choice.
playthrough, sort of,
What happened to you
Hammer
in that
talks a
ritual?
lot about like, you could have brought back thousands, or at least the people you loved.
You gave
Yeah.
them up. For what? A bit of gold?
Yeah, how about you
I
give a
thought
choice?
I knew you, but bloody hell was I wrong.
Yeah, so all those lines are really slow. So normally, you'd probably pick I think the few. But yeah, doesn't make that big of a difference. We're talking like 10 to 15 seconds or something. And finding those measurements, by the way, was a huge pain because you have to come all the way to the end and beat the game, and then it actually wants to autosave at that point. So it's excuse me, not easy. So the denouement, Reaver is going to follow Garth to Garth's home place of Samarkand. Garth, of course, just wants to go home. Reaver knows that it's like a tropical paradise, and he wants to find the exotic bits there.
I know why we got attacked in the cave the
Hammer
day we
is a
met.
little bit weird.
You brought those
She
hollow men
wants
in
to
with
go
you.
back to pacifism,
Two monks would have found
but
nothing.
she wants to go
But a
study
warrior
with
finds
warrior
battles
monks, even though she
always.
says a warrior finds
I want to
battle
go
always,
north.
and I don't want to do that
Study
anymore.
with those warrior
I'm
monks.
really confused by what
I was so
Reaver's,
sick of
sorry, what
avoiding
Hammer
violence.
exactly is thinking here.
Now
Yeah,
I'm
she
sick of
just
causing it.
completely flipped her mind.
Goodbye.
But so Reaver's gonna head off. Of course, you'll have to come back to Albion periodically to, you know, restore his pact with the Shadow Court, or else he's going to die. Garth is thankful to have met us, and he will go along his merry way
I had my doubts about
and
you at first.
do whatever it
I'm
is
glad
exactly
we
that he does.
And we shall meet again. You can count on it.
And since we played primarily good, Hammer is
So, think you can handle Albion?
basically it's bittersweet for her, regardless of what we
Do
chose.
you
She
think
considers
thinking
us a good
will
friend.
change? It's not like I'm leaving much behind. Well, maybe one thing.
But you
about
just
the
said you
greatest
hated us.
friend I ever had. But it's time to say goodbye.
Got the mind of a teenage
Goodbye.
girl.
Take care of yourself.
Farewell, Hammer.
And time will be coming up momentarily.
And now it is time for you to leave. The world is yours to enjoy. But the spire is mine. Be gone.
And time. So that is Fable 2. Since we're a little bit shy on audience members, we'll just move on and we'll actually skip these credits. Actually, no, we're not entirely going to skip these credits. I do want to give a shout out, although he's probably not watching right now because it's like terrible o'clock. I'd like to give a shout out to a programmer who will show up in here who is my current manager, Jonathan Shaw. He worked at Lionhead during development of Fable 2, and also is a super awesome person that I'm thankful to work with, and hopefully he got to watch at least part of this run and kind of see what Jonathan Shaw there is growing up. I really love this presentation of the credits, by the way. This is really cool. But yeah, hopefully you got to see a little bit of this speed run. You know, I really can't stress enough that I love this game, even though it has a lot of faults that I will complain about all the time. It's such a good game, and I spent so many hours playing it, so I can never say that I didn't like it. But we will skip the rest of the credits because they're really long, and I finished 30 minutes ahead of schedule, or ahead of estimate. I think we're probably still barely on schedule now after that. But real quick, I will show you guys what you get for wealth.
Do we have a quick second for donation?
Absolutely.
We did receive a $500 donation from Marmus. A donation comment reads, "Let's see that Final Fantasy reject get got. Love the work of that Nami does and greatly appreciate the marathon. Keep up the great work." And thank you very much for your generous donation.
Indeed. Thanks to everyone that donated during this run, and of course, during the marathon so far. We, of course, have lots more action to go, so keep watching RPG Limit Break. It is going to be awesome. Here's the chest containing the results, what we got for completing the game and choosing the wealth / the one ending. It's 1 million gold. So here's the thing. 1 million gold seems like a lot. We had 20,000. If we had decided to spend even a little bit of time doing I don't know, real estate stuff, for example, 1 million gold would be absolutely trivial to acquire. So it's actually kind of silly that at the end you choose the oh man, more wealth than you can possibly imagine ending, and you get 1 million. It's I mean I could generate that in a couple days if I owned everything, which doesn't take that long to accomplish. So that's kind of a funny thing. It's the game's not even trying to hide its disdain for the bad options. It's no, you should do the good ones. Come on.
I mean, it's really mostly there just get buy the Bowerstone Mansion right away.
Pretty much, yes. Which is really expensive and hard to acquire. But yeah, that's gonna be it for Fable 2. PX, thank you for joining me, dude.
No problem.
We've got what do we got coming up?
Alundra.
Oh yeah, we do. By Spiriax. Awesome. You guys should stick around and watch.
Yes, indeed. I definitely agree. Alundra is definitely a really great watch. Spirax is a really great runner, and I can highly recommend to anyone who still is around and can, well, watch this. It is definitely a great watch to see Alundra, even if you don't know anything about the game. It will be quite entertaining, I can promise you that.